Rena, you're mad.
Am I? You're the one who's mad. You're happy Daddy is dying, aren't you?
Stop it!
It wasn't the pictures, Vicky. If it was the pictures, he would have had the attack at my house, not at yours. You drove him to it, didn't you? How did you do it? How did you do it? How did you push Daddy over the edge?
You have to shout so the whole hospital can hear you.
Kevin. It's the two of you. You both put my Daddy over the edge.
No, Rena, if it weren't for Kevin, Stryker would be gone by now.
Oh, that won't wash anymore. Not for either one of you, because I see what's going on. And because you made one big mistake, Kevin.
His only mistake was marrying you.
You paid for that. Both of you. You paid for what you've done to Stryker and me.
Now, listen, Rena, you stop it. You're hysterical.
You never could have anything, could you? That's the kind of mother I have. She doesn't want her husband, so she tries to take mine.
Rena, that is insane.
What is that the plan, Vicky, huh?
Rena, you be quiet.
First
This
you
is the
design it
hospital.
so it looks like I'm to blame,
I promise you.
and then you make sure that no one believes a word I say. What does she offer you for this, huh? Money? You're gonna do this one for love, honey.
All right, Rena, that does it. Out. Come
Stop
on,
it.
out.
Stop it! Don't you ever touch me again. You save that kind of treatment for your cheap little affair with my mother. You can't keep me quiet, Kevin. Not this time. You're gonna have to kill me too, because I'd rather go to my grave with Stryker than to let you off the hook on this one. You know, I knew there was a reason why you didn't want to be home tonight, but even I didn't suspect it. So what are you doing here at this hour, huh? I'll tell you what. You were waiting for that call from Vicky. What else? You knew it was coming because you planned it. Both of you. You both want my daddy dead. I know she's your cousin, so I thought you...
Rena.
Oh, Mom.
Bring Dr. Walker something to calm Mrs. Cook. 25. Make it a 50.
Yes, Dr. Walker.
No, there's nothing anyone can do.
I heard about Stryker. I know it must seem like the end of the world right now, but it's not. We're doing all we can. I'm here. Kevin's here.
Oh, no, not Kevin. No, not him. No, I want you to look after Daddy because I don't trust him. I don't want to give him a chance to finish off what they tried to do to Daddy.
What are you trying to do, Rena? Kill him off your own way?
Oh, you see, he's trying to play me. How long was his
Rena, please. This isn't doing anyone any good. Least of all you. Now, Rena, listen. I think it would be best if you just went home and got some rest.
No.
Stryker's in intensive care now. There's nothing more we can do tonight.
No.
Rena, please. I'll call you as soon as there's any change. I promise.
No, I won't leave. I don't know what's gonna happen. If I leave him in Vicky's hands, what will happen to Daddy?
Seven.
Dr. Marshall ordered it for Mrs. Cook.
Good idea. Rena, here, take this.
What for?
If you're determined to stay, I want you to relax. Maybe even get some sleep. The caps will make you feel a little drowsy. Your mouth may be a little dry, but it's nothing harmful. Trust me.
I do, Bart. You're the only one.
Thanks. Thanks.
Would you like me to page Dr. Marshall?
No, thanks. I know where she is.
Are you all right?
No.
I've never seen anything like that before.
It'll stick around. I guarantee there'll be more of it.
Oh, Ken. It's just Stryker. You said all along she'd go over the brink when the idea of losing him began to seem real.
Like a fool, I stayed. I let her win every round. I left my clinic, my friends. I almost turned you away from me. Why? Why? Because I thought she would need me now. Need me to laugh. All she needs is a whipping boy. Well, it looks like she's got one, doesn't it? By morning, everyone will know that my poor, badly done by wife accused me of attempted murder. And what? Incest.
Kevin, no one would believe that. Look, Bart's giving Rena something to help her relax right now. This panic of hers will pass. She'll listen to reason.
No, Rena? No. She'll probably just rerun the whole darn thing. Hell was the matter? Courtney, I have got to ask Vicky for permission to perform high-risk surgery on Stryker. If I don't, he will die. All right, now, say she says yes, and I operate, and then Stryker dies on the table. What'll Rena say then? And who'll think she's wrong? No. You've never seen me so shaken up, have you, Courtney? Well, I'm sorry it happens. I'm sorry if it spoils your image of me.
Look, no matter what Rena says or who she says it to, makes no difference because you know you're going to do whatever's best for Stryker.
Well, we all have our crusades, I suppose. I don't like to see people die. I guess that's mine.
Is there anything to be done for Stryker tonight?
No, that was that attack he had. I'd rather see him stabilized tonight. And in the morning...
In the morning, Rena will have come to her senses, and you'll do what you feel you have to do. But for tonight, you need some rest.
Rest? I've been trying to get rest all my life. Putting it off a little longer won't hurt.
Now, don't argue.
Oh, Courtney, I can't sleep now. Really, I can't.
Hey, doctor's orders. Come on. Come on. Now, you just put your feet up here, and you'll be asleep in absolutely no time at all. I got an idea.
What?
Think about something that makes you happy.
Like you, maybe?
If you want. I don't mind. I'll be back. I'll come wake you when it's morning.
Courtney, Stryker...
I will look after Stryker. There's only a few hours left till dawn. I'll tell the operator not to disturb you.
Courtney. Don't go, please. Stay and talk.
All right. About what?
Oh. Anything? You?
Oh, no. I'm afraid I'm not very special.
You? You are a wonder. You're like some fantastic star that fell down from the sky. No one saw it but me. No, you don't have to try to be special. It's as much a part of you as this hand, those eyes. Courtney, whatever else happened, remember, I love you. It isn't protectiveness. It isn't even gratitude. I love you.
Well?
Oh, well enough, thanks. Have some cream and sugar in there? It's a long flight, huh? Sure glad there was no one in the seat next to me. Well, it looks like I could have pitched a tent and no one would have noticed.
This flight used to be full, but, you know, since the revolution.
I know. A lot's changed.
Well, I hear the new government is planning to try and open the old Marshall oil refinery again. Maybe things will get back to normal then.
Nope. No, that's not going to be business as usual. Tank your oil has ruined a lot of fortunes. It's hurt too many people. And it's piled up some debts. Way too big to forget.
What are you doing here? Why didn't you write or phone or something? I would have, I don't know, I would have...
What? Bake me a cake?
What?
Never mind, an American expression.
It is? Well, how come I don't know it? Will you stop laughing at me? I guess I'm losing all my Americanness.
Maybe so. You sure have never looked more like a princess.
Thank you. Well, I guess it's never been more important that I be one. Not to me so much. I would have been just as happy to leave when I saw what they'd done to my country. Maybe even gone back to Houston. Anything but to stay here and take the charity of my family and my tribesmen. They have so little now. Oh, Ryan, even their hope is shrinking. Kind of like this room. This house.
Oh, it must have been pretty frightening at first, huh?
Not frightening, really. Well, maybe the day that they finally drove us from the palace, but since then, things have been a little desolate.
Then why do you stay here?
This is still my country. These are still my people. Most of them are still loyal to what Father stood for. I'm all they have left. They come to see me in 2s and 3s when I grant an audience. And I try to look very old and very wise.
You become a symbol, huh?
I guess I have. Well, it's not very difficult work. But it is a little difficult trying to be a woman and a symbol at the same time. But today, I'll be a woman. Oh, Brian. I missed you so much. You stayed so long in Houston, I was afraid you were never going to come back.
Yasmin, I haven't. I'm not going to be taking my old job at the consulate. I'm just going to be staying here a few days. Actually, a few hours if everything goes right.
You'd leave me again?
Come on, I didn't say that.
Well, then, what did you say? Why are you here?
I came back because there's a slim chance that, well, that I can get the man who killed your father and make him pay for it. He's back in Tankir now.
You found him?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Coward. To have turned my father's last hope for life, that pacemaker, to his death.
Well, actually, the switching of the equipment, that was just the dirty work. I used a hospital orderly for that. And then he killed him to keep him quiet. And also to give the authorities a fall guy.
And this was one of my countrymen?
Oh, yes. It's your new Minister of Internal Security, Hassan.
Ryan, that's not possible. Father trusted him. Look, I know you don't like him, neither do I. But he was there by Father's side. He was! Of course. It was Colonel Hassan who wanted the hospital guard reduced. He even said he'd go over your head that day at the top of the World Club.
That's right. You were there with him, weren't you?
Yes, I had lunch. I asked him not to make trouble for you. Why?
Well, Clipper Curtis, who runs the club, he overheard Hassan one afternoon talking with his assistant, the orderly, and they were planning the assassination.
Well, if he knew, why didn't he stop him?
Well, because Curtis thought he had a great angle. I know he's been blackmailing Hassan to get rich shipping Tankir oil. I just can't prove it, unless I can prove it here. I want to see your new prime minister. I'm sure he'd find it very interesting to discover that he has a murderer in his cabinet.
Or
Maybe he can get Hassan to talk.
Maybe he knew all along. Maybe that's where the position came from.
That's possible. And if that's true, if it even looks like it's true, you're leaving the country with me.
Leave my country? Ryan, I can't.
Yasmin, look. It's the only way. The man killed your father and Amir. Now, by any kind of reckoning, you're next.
He can't!
If the government won't stop him, he can and he will. Now, look, he's the head of the police and prisons. He has a whole army of stormtroopers to help him come after you.
But if I leave now, what will happen to the revolution?
What'll happen if you stay? Come on, you said it first. You're their symbol, their battle cry. So when Hassan starts cleaning up internal security, where do you think he's going to start first? He told me he wants to crush the opposition. I'm surprised he hasn't even been here yet. Yasmin, now I know how important the Royalist movement is to you. But if you're dead, your people will have nothing to fight for. At least if you leave, if you come with me and take refuge in the States, you'll always have something to hope for. That you'll come back.
Be a pretty slight hope, though, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
So, what you're saying is that I must start a new life? Without title or family? In a foreign country?
I know it's going to be hard, but I'll help you, huh?
All right. If you think it's best, then I'll do it.
Good.
Oh, Ryan, I would have started 100 new lives for you anywhere on the universe if you would have only asked. And now that you have, how can I hesitate?
Wait a minute, Yasmin. Well, you know how much I like you, and I think you know that, but I know I promised your father that I'd keep you safe, and yes, I want you to come with me, but only as a friend. So, don't ask for any more than that, huh? Because it just wouldn't work.
Ryan, look, I know you used to say that because I was a princess. And I understood. A man may fight for a symbol, but he'll never marry one. But Ryan, if I leave and go back to Houston with you, whether you like it or not, all that will be gone. Then maybe can you try and see me as I really am? A woman who loves you.
Ginny,
Morning, Elena.
either you're up awfully early, or else it took me longer than I thought to walk over here.
Well, actually, I've been up.
Is little Steve sick or something?
Oh, no. I just couldn't sleep.
You've had an awful lot on your mind lately, haven't you, Ginny? Keeping the ranch going and all.
Well, things are beginning to get a lot easier. We might have to sell some acreage, though, to cover the startup costs. But we'll get by.
Well, that's good to hear. Still, I expect there was something else on your mind if it was busy enough to keep you awake all night.
Well, yes, there was. Something personal.
Oh. Pretty night out last night, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
All the stars out and all that music. Look, Ginny, you can tell me these things. I'm old enough. I understand these things.
And I'm older. I tell you, the older they get, the less you understand.
Look, I heard Max playing his guitar with you last night. Y'all were out on the porch real late.
Yes, we had a nice talk.
You know, for all the things I say about my big brother, he's really a super guy, isn't he? I mean, well, you can count on him. He's always there when you need him. Maybe Max was what you had on your mind last night?
Maybe you're half right.
Hey, wait, where are you going? Look, I didn't mean to chase you out of the room.
Oh, no, I just have to get Steve up and ready to go to school. I'll be back.
Well, I didn't mean to be so nosy. Half right, hmm? I bet I know what the other half is. What's his name? That Ryan Connor. Flying out here like Buck Rogers just to come a courtin'. Oh, I wish someone would fly out here this morning and court me a little bit. Now, how does she do that? Forget it. This darn hair will never hold a curl anyway. You are just a plain Jane girl. And crazy to boot. I'm crazy, crazy for feeling so lonely. I'm crazy, crazy for feeling...
Oh, Lord, when will morning come? I can't wait to get away from this husband of mine so I can go down and do some sweeping.
That's a nice prayer. Why don't you write it down for me?
And maybe you've been dreaming something else, huh? Maybe you've been praying you could get quit of your husband for good. You got a replacement in mind already, I bet.
Billy Joe, if I was ever to break up with you, it wouldn't be to chase after another man. Let me give you some advice. If being married to me means anything to you and you want to keep it that way, then I suggest you sit down and have a nice long talk with Mr. Billy Joe Wright. Because he's the one that's breaking up our marriage and nobody else.
You never talked to me like that before.
I never had to.
So now you're leaving me
I didn't say
for that cop. I'll tell you one thing. If I'd have known what you and that Decker were planning, I'd have been a whole lot rougher on him than what I was last night.
Yes, I bet you would.
Yeah. I had to go easy on him. Didn't want to unravel his stitches.
Billy Joe, why are you always pretending? Why can't you accept things as they are? Or do you think I really have amnesia? You know very well that Ricky used you to wipe up a plate of tacos, stitches and all. So don't make out like you had him shaking in his boots.
You don't think I can't handle that clown?
Look, what difference does it make? Ricky and I aren't planning anything. It's just that one-track mind of yours working overtime. don't you just go do something? Get dressed, put a shirt on. Just do anything.
Why? Can't stand the sight of a real man anymore, huh?
Joe. A real man wouldn't make up stories. A real man would never, ever hit the woman who loves him. Billy Joe, I waited for you to get out of prison for 3 years. Driving up to see you every Sunday I could. Glad to do it. Oh, honey, I had so many plans for us. Lying up there thinking, dreaming about how good it was going to be when you got home. But lately, honey, I've been wondering if I should have waited at all. You're not the same boy I married, Billy Joe. You're just not.
And you're not the same girl either.
Well, no. No, I've learned a lot. I learned how to work hard. And I learned how to be alone. And I can do it again if I have to.
Yeah? Well, I got me an education too, darling. I used to think I knew it all. But they got some cops roaming around out there that showed me I didn't know nothing. So they toughened me up a little. So what, you know? I mean, tougher's better in this world. I gotta make sure that nobody gets away with taking what's mine.
Now, Billy Joe, just sit down. I'll make us a nice pot of coffee. Looks like we both need to clear our minds a little bit.
My head's as clear as a bell, darling. Dicker wants to take you away, darling. I know how to fight fire with fire.
Good morning, Marshall's place.
Sugar, you make it sound like a bar and grill.
Who is... Billy Joe, I told you not to call me anymore.
Yeah? Well, you told me a lot of things. You only meant half of them. What's the matter? Can't you talk?
Well, I can, but... Well, I'm not in the mood, and I never will be. Look, Billy Joe, I'm gonna hang up this phone right now. You hear?
Go ahead. I'll just call you right back. Just a little kindness, that's all. Just a few soft words here and there with that soft voice of yours. Maybe even a little visit to town to come see me.
Fat chance. You'll have to get by without my charm.
You know, Elena, you're really cute, that act you got going on, playing so hard to get, but if I was a different kind of guy, I bet I could turn you around in a New York minute. I mean, what would your pretty boy brother say if I told him that you snuck out to see me at the top of the world? Or if maybe that same little bird starts singing to your sourpuss Ann about how me and you was dancing and necking before you sailed head first down them stairs?
Billy Joe, all that secret between you and me, you can't tell my family. I mean, that's just not right. Besides, what you're talking about is blackmail, and that's against the law.
You could always have your brother track me down. Hey, come on. This is me, your friend. I wouldn't do that to you. You wouldn't give me no cause either, would you? So when you come to town?
Billy Joe, I'm telling you, I can't. Max would never let me come, not after what happened.
You don't know anything but you took a fall, that's all. Just tell him you want to come by and cheer up that poor sick brother of yours. Can't kick about that now, can he?
Oh, come on. You do that for me, can't you, Lamb Chop? I just can't take it anymore. I mean, I gotta see you, even just for a minute.
You're the only one in the world who understands me.
I can't promise anything.
Just give me a ring when you get your travel plans made.
Why didn't I just hang up the phone in the first place? I can't help it. He just won't take no for an answer. That's all there is to it.
Am I awake yet?
Oh, I brought you some coffee.
Thank you. Thanks. Well, you're right. My head does feel a little clearer for a few hours sleep.
Have you decided what you're going to do?
There was never any question. In the heat of the moment, Rena's hysterics always seem larger than life, but in the scheme of things, they don't really count for much to me.
Next to nothing.
Well, I'll check up on Stryker, see if he's stabilized, and talk to Vicky and Stryker. Get a consent form.
Good. From what I saw last night, it's his only chance.
Oh, thank you. Tell me, how much fancy talk would it take to convince you to assist me?
None.
I like that. The way I can always count on you.
Oh, Kevin. I hope you always do.
Well, Doctor, let's go.
Samantha Walker, please. Victoria Belden calling. Hello?
Aunt Vicky, aren't you coming into work? Is something wrong?
Yes, I'm afraid there is, Sam. Stryker had a major attack last night, the worst one yet, and I'm here at Gulf Coast Hospital with him.
Oh, no. He's gonna be all right, isn't he?
We don't know yet.
Look, Aunt Vicky, you just sit tight. I'll be there in 45 minutes. I'm leaving now.
No, Sam. No, Sam, I'm fine. I'm not here alone. Rena's with me.
I can't believe that that's much of a comfort. I know how she is about Stryker. She'll have you climbing the walls.
Right. I know she's difficult, but now, with the possibility of losing Stryker, well, she's impossible. But, Sam, the best thing you can do for me is to stay at the station and take over for me. There's no one I trust as much.
All right, Vicky. Don't worry about anything here. I just wish there were more I could do.
Oh, you do wonders for me just by being there. You're the only one I know that I can really count on. In fact, you're the daughter I always wished I had. Yes, Sam, I'll call you if there's any change. Thanks.
Good morning, Mother. It's me, the daughter you wish you never had.
Good morning, Rena.
Look me in the eyes and tell me you wish I wasn't alive. That you wish you had strangled me in the nursery, put me up for adoption, starved me in the cradle. Say it.
Oh, Rena,
Instead,
please,
you took your
not
time
today,
about it,
not
didn't you?
now.
You spent 20 years trying to ruin me. Tell me, Mother, not that it matters, or not that I'll believe you or anything, but
Just out of curiosity, why did you hate me? Is it because I was Stryker's child and not Alex Weir's? Because as long as I exist, you could never completely wipe Daddy out of your life except by killing him?
This may come as a shock to you, but I do not hate you. The truth is, I actually love you. That's right. And it doesn't depend on what you feel for me. You're my daughter.
You know, when I was a little girl,
And
I
come
used to
what
tell
may,
people
I
that
do
didn't
love
have a
you.
Mother, that I came from the stork, that Stryker adopted me, anything. I used to spend hours in front of the mirror looking at my hair, my eyes, my hands, just to make sure there wasn't anything about me that resembled you. You know, even once I asked Stryker if he'd change me into a boy. I hated being a girl, because that's what you were, and it was the only thing about me that was like you. And I wanted to kill it. So you see, Mother, I know why you're trying to kill Daddy. Then you could cut all of your ties with me. You could forget about what you've done to us. But it didn't work, did it? So now, I'm going to go to Daddy, and I'm going to tell him exactly what you've done.
Rena, are you crazy? You can't go to your father's room now.
What are you so afraid of?
I'm afraid for him. He's in no condition for a visit from you.
Why not? It's morning. He'll be awake.
Rena, the man has had a major heart attack. He's in critical condition. Don't you understand that?
Don't you understand that my daddy will want to know where I'm at? Don't you understand that he might be frightened waking up in a room all alone? You see, I'm not like you are, Vicky. I won't let him down.
Rena, stop. Rena,
Just where do you think
Let
you're going?
go of me. Let go of me, Kevin. I want to see my daddy. He's waiting for me.
Now, that is absurd. Marina, you listen to reason or I'll have you removed from the hospital. People have jumped at your bidding long enough. So sit down and shut up.
You can't give me orders.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't. You're only the man I used to be married to. You're not even my daddy's doctor anymore. Bart Walker is, and no one else.
Fine. Bart is an excellent internist. He can take over after surgery, and surgery is what Stryker needs. And with your mother's permission, that means me.
what kind of surgery, Kevin?
There's only one thing we can do to help him. His heart is so deteriorated since this last attack that he could only live a week, maybe two. The only way we have of buying him any time at all is with a heart transplant.
I knew it. You want him dead. Both of you. Well, I swear, if you cut my daddy's heart out and he dies, I'll charge you both with murder. That's right. Murder!
Stryker needs surgery. If your mother agrees, then that means me.
No. What are you two planning now?
What kind of surgery, Kevin?
There's only one thing we can do. His heart's so weakened since this last attack, if he survives, it'll only be for a week, perhaps two. There's only one way to buy Stryker more time, and that is with a heart transplant.
I knew it. You do want him dead, both of you. Well, I swear, Kevin, if you cut his heart out and he dies, I'll charge both of you with murder. Do you hear me? Murder!
Rena, don't be ridiculous.
Oh, I'm on to you two now. You're scared, aren't you? You're afraid that Stryker's going to mess up your little scheme, aren't you? That's why you're sending Kevin off after him with a knife.
Rita, that's a lie. Kevin saves lives.
I think I know his style by now. He'll flub it up with a scalpel, and then he'll say it's anyone's fault but his. You remember the Sheik? You remember Tracy DeWitt, Kevin? Yeah, you'll mumble a few I'm sorry's, and that'll be the end of it.
Rena, I'm sorry. I don't have time for any more of this nonsense.
What's
What's wrong with you? Do you even know what you're saying? Kevin's the only chance your father's got, or are you such a fool you can't see that? If you won't accept his help and Stryker dies, you'll be to blame. The whole world's not under your thumb, Rena. I'm not, and neither is Kevin.
Why, you self-righteous little snoop. What are you trying to do? Score points with the good doctor? Play teacher's pet?
All I'm trying to do is make you see that you're threatening your father's life with this idiotic jealousy of yours.
I think I know my husband a little better than you do.
I don't think so. I don't think you know anyone, really. Because you can't see anything but yourself, and you think everyone is just like you.
What do you know about it, Courtney? You've had your nose stuck in a book every day of your life. All you know about Kevin is the great surgeon, the glorified plumber who diddles around with people's hearts like they were sink pipes.
That's not true.
Don't bother wasting your breath with him. You don't know what's going on inside his heart, honey.
I think I know more than you give me credit for.
Maybe you'd like to tell me about it.
I know Kevin's committed to his work, to keeping people alive no matter what the cost to him personally. Even under the kind of pressure that you put him under. He won't just shrug off his obligations to his patients, or even to you, though heaven knows why.
There's no divine obligation that Kevin has to me. Our particular marriage was not made in heaven. It was made somewhere between the dollar sign and the decimal point. Or perhaps you don't know that Daddy paid Kevin to keep me happy.
Yes, I knew. Kevin took that money to open a clinic and expand his work. If putting up with you was part of the bargain, well, that just shows how deep his dedication runs. Because I'm sure you made him pay every minute.
Rena, what on earth are you doing?
No, I'm okay.
What's the matter with you?
Leave me! Both of you, just leave me!
Thank you, Brad. Courtney, something wrong?
No, nothing. How's Stryker?
Well, I haven't finished the morning examination yet, but he seems to be about the same.
Still critical?
Courtney, what happened to you?
Nothing, I said.
I've got news for you. That's not nothing. That's a red welt about the size of a hand. Who did this to you?
Rena and I had a little disagreement.
Rena.
She was calling Kevin every name in the book. She even accused him of wanting to murder Stryker. She was serious.
Again. I thought we were through with that last night. So you jumped to Kevin's defense. He's a big boy, Court. You really think he needs protection against his wife?
Yes. In fact, maybe we all do. Rena. It's as if she's drawn out of scale. Bigger than life. And too strong to stop.
No! No, 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 Kevin, I won't hear it.
I've had just about enough of this.
I don't care if you, Vicky, every man, woman, and child in Houston are against me. I want what's best for Stryker, and I'm going to fight for it.
How in hell can you know what to fight for if you won't listen?
Rena, no one is conspiring against you, and Kevin and I have nothing to hide. But we're not going to be bullied into standing by and doing nothing.
Stryker doesn't have this surgery. He could die tomorrow. Who'd be the murderer then, Rena?
I don't believe you. You're lying.
All right, fine. Ask Bart. Get all the second opinions you want. But first, you are going to sit down here. Come on,
No.
sit down. Sit down.
Kevin!
Sit down. Now, you listen to me. You are going to listen to what I recommend. Then you can call in every doctor in Texas.
Fair enough, Rena.
A transplant, please?
I'm sorry. There are risks. Big risks, Rena. But without it, there's no chance. Only the certainty that Stryker will not recover. Now, are you ready to listen to me?
Right.
Morning, Elena.
Good morning, Kate. Steve. Elena.
Oh, those biscuits smell good. By the way, who was that called so early this morning? Elena.
It was a wrong number. Can you imagine that at this hour? Well, I'm sorry if it woke you. I tried to catch it, but I just couldn't.
I thought maybe it was Mr. Connor.
No, it was just a mistake, that's all. Just a mistake.
Where are you running off to, girl?
Well, I thought I'd take Max some biscuits and some coffee. You know, it's getting kind of cold out here in the morning. Steve, I'll see you at the school bus, okay?
Hello again, Elena. Something wrong?
I wonder.
Max!
Close your eyes, close the door. You don't have to worry anymore. Be afraid. I'll be your baby tonight.
Look, Billy Joe, I'm gonna hang up this phone right now. You hear?
Go ahead, I'll just call you right back.
What do you want from me?
So, relax. Old Billy Joe take care of you, darling. Get all the tension out of your shoulders here and your neck. Just a little kindness, that's all. Just a few soft words here and there with that soft voice of yours. Maybe even a little visit to town to come see me.
I can't.
I mean, what would your pretty boy brother say if I told him that you snuck out to see me at the top of the world? Oh, come on. You do that for me, can't you, lamb chop? I just can't take it anymore. I mean, I gotta see you, even just for a minute.
Oh, isn't that a pretty picture? Oh, now, Max, what do you figure she could be up to? Huh? Wanting to serenade me before heading off to school? Hope you don't think you're playing hooky today.
No. Look what I brought you. They're fresh. I just made them.
Oh, isn't that nice? I guess I should feel guilty. I don't know why you make me so suspicious. Well, thank you. You know me, I could eat 3 breakfasts a day.
And I'd cook them for you, Max.
Huh?
I hope you know that I really love my big brothers. Oh, I know I complain, but I don't know what I'd do without you. I mean, it seems like nothing could ever really go wrong as long as you're around. And guess what?
What?
I even miss Ricky.
Oh, come on, you trying to make me choke on my biscuit?
I know. We used to fight like cats and
Used
dogs.
to?
Well, not so much anymore. We're grown up now, and even though he might think of me as this little punk kid, I don't think of him as this big bully yanking out my hair anymore. I guess I sort of think of him as, well, as my friend. Oh, I don't know. Things seem kind of flat around here with him gone to town.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Kind of miss having him underfoot myself. Never knew the place could be so quiet.
Maybe, you think maybe I could go into town and visit him at Terry's? It would make him feel so much better, Max.
I thought you had your fill of Houston. Seemed like you were awful glad to get back home after that summer job at Maggie's place.
I was, and I did.
Uh-huh. But?
Well, the job was real hard, Max, and the city was so large. I mean, I didn't even know what to do with myself, but well, I sure didn't want to get into any trouble.
Now you just want to migrate back there like the rest of the flock.
No, just overnight, that's all.
Oh.
Look, since I've been home, I guess I've been thinking that maybe I just didn't make enough of my summer vacation there, and, well, oh, I don't know, Max, things are kind of slow here.
And you reckon it's just going to be a thrill a minute sitting by that big blue pool with Ricky?
Well, I could go to Maggie's and I could
Oh,
visit...
Maggie's now.
Oh, please, Max. It's just for one night, and, well, it doesn't have to be on a school night. It could be on Friday if you say yes.
I suppose so.
Boy, am I mad at him.
Who? Max?
No, Mr. Connor. What happened to him anyway? Did his chopper break down, or maybe he's mad at me?
Oh, no, honey. Ryan can't come and visit us for a while because he had to go to Tankier.
Where? Why couldn't we go too? I could have missed school.
Well, Tankier is very far away. It's a little country in the Middle East. As a matter of fact, it's near some of those places that they tell you about in Sunday school.
Then he didn't have to go. I could have told him all about it.
Well, he had to take care of some old business. And that's exactly what you have to do. That breakfast is getting older by the minute. Now, come on. Finish it up or you'll miss your bus.
Do I have to? You didn't.
All right. Give me a kiss. Be a good boy.
I will. And Mom, I'm not really mad at Mr. Connor. I just hope he doesn't stay away too long.
Me too.
Bye. Bye, Grandma.
Bye, honey. Sure looks like Ryan Connor's got a grip on this family, doesn't it?
You gonna put those pears up today?
I thought I might. Got a couple of bushel baskets full outside to bring in.
Well, I'll give you a hand, Kate.
Listen, Jenny, it isn't new, but it's true. Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Oh, I know all about absence, Kate. Absence only makes the heart shrink, that's all. I mean, it's not like a feeling you can just put up on a shelf like a can of preserves. It's more delicate than that. It has to be tended to. It needs to be nourished.
You sound angry.
Yes, I am.
Oh, even little Steve said he'd forgive Ryan his wandering.
I'm not angry with Ryan. I'm angry with myself. I don't like feeling these feelings. You know, after all those years without Barrett, you'd think that I'd learned something. I just don't want to feel loneliness again.
Truth is, after all those years, you didn't feel anything at all, did you? But now, it's all right, Ginny. We both know love has a lot of disguises. Sometimes it's an itch you can't scratch that drives you to distraction, just when you want a little peace and quiet and forgetfulness. But still in all, it's love, such as it is, and something to be thankful for.
I miss him, Kate.
I know. I know.
Ryan, I touch you, but you're not here. I mean, you're here, but not here with me. I'm sorry. I should apologize for being so forward.
Oh, come on. There's no need for that. I just want you to remember that, well, you and I were never that way, you know. We were never lovers.
I know we weren't, but not because I didn't want it. I always felt that the great stumbling block was the respect you felt for Father.
And now the respect I have for his memory. And for you.
Ryan, I don't need respect. I have more respect than any one woman could have. I hoped that maybe now you could lift this veil of respect and royalty that you feel for me and see me as I am, a woman who wants you simply as a man.
There's nothing simple about it, Yasmin. Now, you just can't pretend there aren't any differences between us, because there are.
Look, now you say I must leave and go with you to the States. So where are our differences now? Gone. Is there any reason that I should keep these thoughts away now?
Yes, there is, more than...
Yes, Timo, what is it?
Your Highness, His Excellency Minister Hassan wishes to see you. He says it is urgent, Princess.
Oh, he does he? Well, tell Minister Hassan that I don't wish to see him. Unless it's on his funeral bier, that's all.
Princess, the minister has brought armed guards. If you refuse, he said they'd force the door.
So Hassan's getting tough. Has he done this before?
No, never. In fact, he's never even been here before. Ryan, if he finds you before you've told the Prime Minister what you know. Tina, take my guest to another room. And please don't mention to anyone that he was here.
But, Your Highness, the minister specifically asked to see the princess and her friend, Mr. Connor. I told him you were alone. I told him you were ill. He did not believe me. He threatened to have me beaten for a liar.
Look, it's okay. It's all right.
Sounds like our new Minister of Internal Security has been keeping his eyes open. We'll have him come in. We'll just see who's going to do the beating.
Listen, Ryan, you say he's head of police and prisons. Don't fight him. And don't give him any reason to arrest you.
Well, I'm sure he has all the reasons he'll need. He's never been a stickler for details. Now, that's not what bothers me. What if he uses my being here as an excuse of getting at you?
Foul number one. Hassan. Oh, I wish I'd never laid eyes on that kook. Now Alex and that nephew of his have all but accused me of killing Sheikh Zadie myself.
No, that's not true, Clipper.
Foul number two, Clippergate. All that business with the tape recorders. And foul number three, Paige Marshall. I should have just pushed her off the roof instead of firing her.
Somebody'd miss her sooner or later. Don't ask me who.
Look, Terry, too many personal fouls and you're out. That's the way they play the game. So what I'm saying is, I don't want you to go through with this, you understand?
Too late. I've made up my mind. Clipper, I have thought about it a lot, and I want to talk to Alex because I think it's the right thing to do.
Well, so do I. Heck, I'm not proud. 3 years of doing the man's dirty work ought to count for something. But what if he starts thinking you were in on all my mistakes?
He won't, Clipper. I guarantee it.
Well, how do you know? Look, honey, I'm just a big dumb lug who ought to be down on the wharves unloading banana boats. But you, I mean, you're smart. You're top-notch. I don't want to see him boot you out the door, too.
Clipper, he won't. Trust me. Look, I know Alex. He's not that petty.
I know. You're right. He can hardly muddle through without you for one day. I guess that was just an excuse.
Clipper, what are you driving at? I thought we were going to be honest with each other.
All right, I just don't want you talking to Alex for me. That's just the way it is, okay?
Why not? Don't you want your job back?
Well, sure I do. But I want you more. See, I don't want you telling Alex to go easy on me just because we're engaged now. I mean, if you start out feeling some kind of obligation to me, pretty soon you're going to come to resent it. And lover, I don't want anything to come between us anymore.
Honey, I don't feel obliged. I want to do this. I know you. I can tell you've learned a lot from this whole mess. You'll never make those same mistakes again.
That's true. Never again.
See? You've never talked like that before.
I never realized how much you meant to me. What a dope, huh? It's good to be a reformed man again. I sure hope I never start to backslide.
You won't. This time we'll be married and you'll have every reason in the world not to reach too far. Because I know you love me as much as I love you.
Do I ever? I just wish I deserved you.
You wait right here. I want you to be the first to hear what Alex has to say.
Oh, sell him that package, baby. Turn on the charm. I knew you'd take care of me, doll. Just like I knew you'd take care of my little gold mine. Safe and sound, and still solid gold. Oh, yeah. I can still pull this off. One friendly transatlantic buzz to Mr. Hossein ought to do it. You sure won't want this tape floating around while a bunch of cutthroats they call a government try to pass themselves off as respectable. Some of us have it, and some of us don't.
It is a very serious charge, Connor. Illegal entrance. And I'm afraid there is very little leniency I can offer for old time's sake.
Well, don't do me any favors. Look, Hossein, I used a diplomatic passport. Now, there's nothing you haven't done yourself.
Ah, but I was a servant of the government. You have resigned your post and taken up with some law practice in Houston.
No, I'm on a leave of absence.
Technicalities. And what is perhaps worse, you used what little influence you have left with the American consul to get an appointment with the Prime Minister, have you not?
Sure, what's so worse about that? It's just a friendly call. I've known Ibn Mafu when he was...
Show some respect, Connor. This is not America. We do not refer to our leaders by first-name basis here.
Some revolution. All right, I knew His Excellency when he was an opposition leader. And I thought I would congratulate him on his meteoric rise to power.
That is a slap in the face of the new regime. The Prime Minister is friend to no American, especially one who enters under false pretenses, and much less to a spy. Arrest this man.
Guard. Minister Hossein is mistaken. Don't touch this man.
But, Your Highness.
Rida, it is treason to answer to any but the people's government. Or are you a royalist too?
No, Your Excellency.
I will protect you.
Princess, I cannot disobey.
Would you like to share Mr. Connor's sentence? Execution for crime against the people?
Colonel, Minister, whatever you are. If Ryan is arrested, I will go to my Bedouin kinsmen. I don't think your government could stand an uprisal by my people. Your holiness is quite slim right now. There are thousands who still do not know who to obey.
The law is to be obeyed by everyone, Princess, even yourself. And you too can be executed for harboring a spy.
What?
Now, hold on. This has gone far enough.
Look, Colonel, Ryan came here to see me, not to spy on your tirades and games.
To see you?
Yes.
Yasmin, don't lie.
Ryan?
Quiet now. Hossein knows I came here to see the Prime Minister. He's going to claim that I came here illegally.
No. It's too late for that, Connor. The truth is out now. Well, Princess, you win 1 point, but I'm afraid you lose another. It's true it would not be to my advantage to have you killed for political reasons. Because once your tribesmen find out that you are an adulteress...
What?
They will be too happy to invoke the ancient punishment themselves, death by stoning.
They'll never believe you.
Reda, I have an errand for you if you can still be counted among us.
Of course, Your Excellency.
Fetch me a photographer, a trustworthy one. We are about to catch a woman of very high standing in an indisgrace.
You'll have to kill me first.
Too bad. Photographs of corpses will be less attractive, but still very effective.
Wait, it's true. I did come to see Yasmin. But I came to ask her to marry me.
Ryan?
Despite what the lady might say, Connor, I'm not a fool.
Just listen. Now, you let me take her back to the States. Then you won't have to kill her. And you know that loyalty to the royal family will stop at the border. How about it, Hassan? I'll get what I came for. She'll be alive. And you'll get what you want. Having been involved with a foreigner, she'll be disgraced. Isn't that what you want?
You think very fast on your feet, Connor. I have to give you that. Reda, fetch a magistrate. Tell him to bring whatever he needs for a marriage by civil standards. And also bring that photographer. All of Zahdi's kinsmen will be silent witnesses to the abdication of Princess Yasmin.
So, given these new drugs, the likelihood of host rejection is much lower. Stryker's chances for a few more years, probably 3 times what they would have been 5 years ago.
What are the chances, Kevin? Are there any statistics?
Yes, there are. About 50-50.
50-50? Well, that's just not good enough.
On the contrary, Rena, it's excellent compared to his chances without the transplant.
Which is 0.
0. Of course, we're assuming a lot. We're assuming there'll be a donor heart available.
I mean, we have to wait for somebody else to die?
As callous as that seems, yes. We're also assuming that Stryker will give his consent. But first, I want to be absolutely sure the 2 of you understand exactly what I'm recommending. Any questions?
Just one. Wouldn't Daddy's chances be just as good with a different surgeon?
There isn't one, Rena. This has never been done at Gulf Coast Hospital before. It's not so much a matter of equipment, but a matter of personnel. I am the only one who's even assisted in a heart transplant. So I'm sorry. You're stuck with me. Well, what about it? What do you think? Will you be able to support me?
Of course, Kevin. I wouldn't dream of second-guessing you in this if you think this is what's best. All I want is Stryker well. Please, go ahead and talk to him.
Thank you, Vicky. Rena?
No. I think something this extreme is uncalled for.
Well, I must say, I'm not surprised.
You shouldn't be. You've been going on for weeks now about how sick Daddy is, both of you. I think you're just trying to scare me.
Rena, you asked me to take care of Stryker, remember? Well, I have, as best as I can, but it's my professional advice that you should listen to Kevin. He knows how to save him. I don't.
Daddy's gonna be all right. You'll make him all right, Bart.
Then listen. Listen to Stryker. He knows how bad his condition is. He's asking for Rena. Do you think?
Oh, I knew he would want...
All right. All right. Maybe you'll learn something. But before you go in there, you have to swear you'll control yourself. No tears, no shouting, absolutely nothing that might upset him. You got that?
Dr. Brown, 831. Dr. Brown, 831.
Veronica.
Why is it so dark in here? What are all those machines?
Now remember your promise.
Daddy, it's me. It's Rena.
Rena.
I've been waiting outside for you. For the first minute you want me. I knew you would. I knew you'd wake up calling for your little girl. Just like it always was. You're looking kind of tired, Daddy. Are you tired? It's all right. Everybody gets tired. Daddy, why don't you say my name again, okay? Rena?
Rena.
I'm here.
I see you. Just wanted to see you again. I asked the Lord. Let me see. Wanted to memorize your face. He let me see you. Wanted to take your face with me where I'm going.
You're not going anywhere. You hear? You stay right here with me. I need you. What kind of talk is that anyway? You and me, we're fighters. We never give up, do we?
Got to. This time. Pointless to fight. At times, you gotta know your beat. This is one. We give 'em a hell of a try, didn't we, baby?
No.
They beat us, baby.
No, Daddy. Daddy, you're just tired, honey, that's all.
It's all right. It's all right. Thinking about this long time. I'm still... I done you wrong, baby. I never told you. I wanted you with me. Now I'm leaving you all alone.
You're right by me right now.
Lena, do something for me.
Anything, Daddy, you know that.
Hold on to her. Hold on to Vicky.
No. No. Not after she did this to you. I'll make her pay for it, Daddy, I promise.
Stop, baby. Stop it. Lying here where I am, I'd be a damn fool to hold a grudge. You hear me now? All my life, I've been a selfish man. Don't take away my chance to do you some good.
I'll try, Daddy. Maybe someday.
Good enough, I guess. You tell your mother for me. Tell her I forgive her. Whatever that's worth. One more promise. Then I'm done. You hold to Kevin. I want him to take care of you when I'm...
I can't. I want to, Daddy, but I can't. He doesn't love me. Only you, Daddy. You're the only one. Only you, Daddy. I can't lose you. I love you so. I love you.
All right, nurse, you may go back in.
He's all right, Kevin.
Mother.
What did Stryker say?
He told me to tell you that he forgives you and that I should too. But heaven help me, I don't. It's the only time I've ever refused him, but I can't. I just can't.
Rena, dear. Nothing can change that. But maybe someday.
That's what I told him. But I lied. Kevin? Daddy said that I should hold on to you, that you'll take care of me. Can I, Kevin? Can I count on you to do what's best for Daddy?
Yes, Serena, you can. What Stryker needs is my only concern now.
And talk to him. I'll pray and do whatever you have to do. I can take it now. Please, Kevin. I love you so. Please keep him alive for me.
There are
arrangements to be made.
Yes, I know Mrs. Carrington doesn't want to speak to me, but it's imperative that I speak to her. Beth, I have to explain.
Well, I understand how you feel, but Mr. Wheeler, like I told you before, Mrs. Carrington's got her back up, and she's just flat not going to take any phone calls from you. Well, sure, I've been giving her your messages just like I'm giving you hers. But she says she doesn't want to talk to you, sir.
Vicki, I'm not sure I deserve your loyalty, but thank you.
There's no need for that. It comes from the heart.
Then you must have an awfully big heart.
No. It's just that I love you, Alex, that's all. Greater love hath no woman, otherwise why would I chase over here to warn you when I knew you were with another woman?
And I care for you too, Vicki, in a very special way.
Look, Beth, I understand why Mrs. Carrington doesn't want to talk to me, but she's doing us both an injustice. Now, I know that she will understand if you can just get me through to her.
Mr. Wheeler, I don't think I can talk Mrs. Carrington into anything.
Beth, just tell her it's urgent. Would you do that for me? I'll hold.
All right, just a minute, Mr. Wheeler. It's him again. He's been calling all morning, and he says you just have to give him a chance to explain, and I mean have to. This old hoss never gives up.
I don't doubt that for a moment. Unfortunately, Mr. Wheeler is not convincing. I would not believe anything he had to tell me.
Look, Mrs. Carrington, I know it's none of my business, but what's so terrible about giving the poor man a chance to explain? Even if it is all baloney, who says you have to eat the sandwich? He's been talking my ear off trying to get through to you. I don't think he's about to give up.
All right, Beth, I'll speak to him.
Hallelujah.
Don't be to listen to his silly explanations. I have something to tell him.
Okay, Mr. Wheeler, here she comes.
Iris.
Yes.
Thank you for being willing to listen to me. I have so much to explain.
Oh, but I'm not, Alex. I came to the phone to speak, not to listen to some half-truths about you and Victoria Bellman.
But Iris,
I really haven't the time to listen to your most recent fabrications. You see, I'm on my way to the Gulf Coast Hospital to see Rena.
Rena, is she ill?
No, but her father is. Stryker's had a serious heart attack. He's on the critical list.
Oh, no. Is there anything I can do to help?
Under the circumstances, I hardly think your help would be appreciated by anyone. But I don't think Mr. Wheeler will be calling and bothering you again.
What's wrong?
I didn't think things could get much worse than they were after Mike's death, but I see now they can.
What's the matter?
Stryker's had another heart attack. Iris says he's critically ill. Am I to have him on my conscience, too?
Hey, wait a minute. How are you to blame for Stryker's attack? I mean, I always thought those things were strictly between a man and his own heart.
Not when what triggers it is a relationship between his wife and another man.
You think Stryker found out about it and had the attack?
I'm sure that's what happened.
Oh, Alex.
Used to be that everything I touched turned to gold. Now, wherever I touch withers. Mike, Vicki, Iris, and now Stryker.
Would you rather be alone now?
Yes, thank you, Terry.
I'll come back later.
Wait a minute, Terry. Is there something you want to discuss with me?
Well, there was, but this doesn't seem like such a good time to talk about it.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, it's about Clipper. And me.
Dear sir or madam, I'm afraid you'll have to choose one. Senor Justin Marshall. Woo! Ha! Ha! Come to Papa. Oh, I've been waiting for you for so long.
Oh! Well, you're gonna have to wait a little longer. I'm not here yet.
You mean this hand that I'm holding is not Venus de Milo's, the missing limb?
No. Justin.
I'm trying to track you down all morning. You think I'm going to let you go now?
Oh, you're not, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you're not. Now that you've got me, what are you going to do with me?
How much time have I got?
Not much. I'm up to my ears in work.
In what?
Work, Justin. Work.
Work.
What we're supposed to be doing around here. And I've got a double load of it. Aunt Vicky called in early, and she asked me to take over for her while Stryker's in the hospital.
Stryker's in the hospital? For what?
He had another heart attack.
How much more can that man survive?
Not much. Vicky says that a heart transplant is about the only thing that can save him now.
Thanks for telling me. I'll let Kate and the rest of the family know all about it. As close as Stryker has been to the Marshall family over the years, I'm sure they'll want to know how he's doing. In fact, after work today, I'll go by the hospital to see him.
Well, it isn't quite that time yet, so what did you want to see me
All right. I wanted to apologize.
For what?
I wanted to apologize for the way that big expose on Curtis and Wheeler just fizzled out.
There's no apology necessary. It wasn't your fault.
And why do I feel responsible about pouring all that money right down the drain?
Well, I don't know, but if I were you, I'd chalk it up to experience and forget it.
I don't forget about anything, especially a bad debt. I'll make it up to you.
It wasn't your fault if something went wrong.
But if I know what went wrong, I should be able to take care of it. Don't you think?
You do? What?
Somebody tipped off Curtis. You should have seen him laughing up his sleeve at me, all during the interview. Especially when I was trying to look under the tables for the hidden microphones. Somebody got there first, all right.
Justin, I told Vicky about your little project, and she went to Wheeler to warn him.
Yeah. Yes, Sam, I know all about that. But I think she was late. You see, I got to Curtis before she ever got to Wheeler, and there was someone there ahead of me. I have a sneaking suspicion it was my sister Paige trying to play both ends against the middle.
With my sports banquet money, she took it and went to Curtis and told him we were coming? Your sister double-crossed us? How could she?
With ease and superlative charm.
Oh.
My sister can double-cross, triple-cross, handle any number of players simultaneously. Except for me. I'm gonna get that money back for you, one way or the other.
You said you wanted to talk to me about you and Clipper. What about Clipper, Terry?
He's waiting in the outer office.
What's he waiting for?
See? I told you this wasn't a good time to talk to you about it.
What's he waiting for, Terry?
For you. I wanted you to talk to him, Alex.
Terry, I just got through firing Clipper yesterday. Are you planning to ask me to hire him back again today? Because if you are...
Top of the World Club.
Yes, this is Justin Marshall. I'm calling for my sister Paige. Is she there now?
I'll see. Will you hold?
Yes, I'll hold.
Yeah.
Miss Marshall?
Yes?
Your brother's on line 2.
Oh, thank you. Well, hello, brother dear.
Paige, can you talk?
Of course, darling. I'm in Clipper's office. You remember him? He used to be the manager of the Top of the World Club.
Used to be.
Who seems to have been fired. So I'm just sitting here at his desk looking over the operation and, planning my pitch to Alex Wheeler to take over as the manager of the Top of the World Club. Don't you think I'd be marvelous, darling?
So, Wheeler didn't like Curtis. Almost making him top story in the 6 o'clock news, huh? So he dumped him. Just like he dumped...
Just. Wheeler's just got good business sense, that's all. Knows when to hold 'em, he knows when to fold 'em, and he knows when to walk away, darling. I mean, he hasn't made all that money acting stupid.
Funny you should talk about money.
Uh-oh. Now look, Justin.
Oh, you look, sugar. KVIK just lost $4,500 down a dry hole, and I want it back, you hear?
Sorry, darling. No refunds. Listen, Just, you paid for a tip, and a tip is what you got.
Oh, you think that was a tip? I'll tell you what that was. That was a ripoff. When I got there was nothing there to see. No microphones, no hidden tape recorders, nothing. I don't like to be double-crossed.
Now, don't start that again, Just. I don't play dirty.
$4,500, do you think I want a freebie? All right. I'm listening.
Because I think you're going to like this one. Just you weren't the only visitor that Clipper had that day. Just before you and the TV crew got here, there were 2 men in Clipper's office, and his face wasn't very happy.
Who were they?
Ryan Connor and some federal agent. They were questioning Clipper about some kind of tankier oil deal that he apparently had approached Alex with.
Tankier oil. Did I hear you right?
Sure did, honey. Poor Clipper. Seems he couldn't quite get the deal together. I get the impression he's not very well coordinated, do you? But Ryan and the Fed made him awful nervous, and I mean nervous, just like scared.
And that happened before I got there.
Right. So maybe that was what spooked him into yanking out the microphones and the recorders. Or maybe somebody did rip him off. But either way, Justin, I didn't tell him a thing. So I don't owe you a dime, right? And now that I think of it, brother darling, you may be the one owing me an apology for thinking such terrible things about your own sister.
Well, let's just say we're even and leave it at that. Okay? So, Curtis was trying to put together some kind of tankier oil deal. Thank you, sister. That $4,500 may have been the best money I ever spent.
I knew this wasn't a good time to talk. I'll see you later, Alex.
Terry, wait. I'm sorry. Come on, sit down.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. You're probably the only person left in Houston who trusts me. If I can't find time for you, what's the time for,
Oh, Alex.
All right, come on now. Tell me about it.
Look, I know you were perfectly justified in firing Clipper. I was shocked and disappointed myself. I couldn't believe he'd been taping conversations at the club. But now,
Something's changed.
I've had a chance to talk to him.
You mean he's had a chance to get to you?
No. Well, maybe, but still, what difference does it make? What he had to say to me made a lot of sense.
And that was?
That he was only trying to do the best job he could for you. He was only trying to please.
To please? Oh, come on, Terry.
Oh, why not, Alex? I mean, the club was established as a kind of listening post, wasn't it? Isn't that why you always want to see the guest list? And didn't you ask Clipper to keep tabs on who sat with whom? And didn't you want him to get information for you?
Yes, of course, but I didn't expect him to record conversations.
Yeah,
You know that.
neither did I. But you know, when you look at it from his point of view, firing him was kind of unfair. After all, you never did set any kind of limits on him.
What he did was illegal.
I know, but see, he's learned his lesson now, Alex. And if you rehired him, that would be what he'd need to get started again.
Terry, Terry, are you saying that you believe Clipper acted in innocence? That you feel he's learned his lesson?
Yes.
I don't think he's changed one bit.
Maybe Clipper hasn't changed, okay? But his situation has.
Yes, it has. I fired him.
No, not that. You see, before Clipper was just out for himself. But now he realizes that if we, well, that he realizes that he and I are more important than anything else, money included. Now he sees things differently.
What are you trying to say, Terry?
That Clipper's asked me to marry him, and I've said yes.
Yahoo! Going!
Oh, yes, honey. Would you put me down? What's going on? The way you were hollering, I thought the sky had fallen.
Not skyfall, windfall. Look at these. Look at them. A decorator just called. She's redoing a house in River Oaks, and she wants us to get all these things on this list for her.
Wow. Dennis, but wait a minute. Where are we going to get all this contemporary stuff? We hardly carry any of this.
Well, from our affiliate in New York, Woodard Galleries, of course.
Oh, of course. How foolish of me.
Yes, and they'll take their percentage.
Of course.
And we'll take our percentage.
Of course.
And with this lady buying all these things, you and I'll have commission enough for a honeymoon.
Oh, Dennis.
Where would you like to go?
Oh. How about some little island somewhere? Somewhere I can pin my hair up with a wildflower.
Oh, yeah? And I can unpin it wildly.
Oh, yes.
Excuse me. I should have called first. I'm sorry.
Oh, hi, Mom. No, come on in.
Hello, dear. I'm Dawn. Darlings, I have something to tell you both.
Oh, well, we've got some great news for you, too, Mom.
Well, I'm afraid mine isn't so good. Oh, dear, I hope you don't mind my barging in here like this. It's just that I just realized that the gallery was on my way to the hospital from Rena's, and I wanted to tell...
What's wrong?
Oh, I'm all right, dear. It's Stryker Bellman who's in the hospital. He's had another heart attack, and from what I've heard, it's quite serious.
Stryker? Oh, no. I'm going to have to let Grandma Kate know. Thank you for coming by and telling us, Mrs. Carrington. It was very thoughtful of you.
Oh, well, actually, that wasn't what I came by to talk about.
Well, what is it?
Oh, Dennis, I don't know how to tell you this.
Oh, come on, Mom. You seem so worried.
Well, I am concerned about the gallery's future.
Oh, the gallery's future is getting more and more secure every day. Look at these. That's what our good news is about.
What are these, dear?
Oh, just orders. Orders from a decorator. And they're orders we can fill because of our affiliation with Woodard Galleries in New York. They came in a few minutes before you got here, Mom.
Dear. Is the decorator's name Zoe Blackthorn?
Yeah. You know her?
Yes, I do. She's the decorator Alex hired to redo the old Marshall house for me.
Then the only reason she called us is because Alex Wheeler told her to?
I'm afraid so.
And I'm afraid we can't fill these orders. I hope you understand, Mom.
I understand very well.
You know, I don't know why you told us about this, but I'm glad you did before I called Woodard Galleries and put the order in. That would have been really embarrassing, Mom.
Yes, Woodard Galleries. That's something else I have to tell you about.
What do you mean?
I mean that the call from Woodard Galleries asking you to affiliate with them, that offer came through Alex, too. He asked Mr. Woodard to call you. I thought you'd want to know that.
Alex Wheeler arranged for our affiliation with Woodard Galleries? And for these orders? But, Mom, that is...
the truth, Dennis.
Well, we certainly don't want anything from Alex Wheeler, do we?
No, we don't. But I'm really surprised at you, Mom, for telling us about this now.
Well, aren't you glad I did?
Yes, I am. But why didn't you tell us about it sooner? Woodard Galleries called here at least a week ago. You must have known about it then.
Yes, you're right, Dennis. I did. In fact, I encouraged it. But that was before, when despite what you and Don said about Alex, I still believed in him.
But now?
But now I don't trust him any more than you do. Now I know that he's faithless and deceitful.
And he just loves to hold out hope to people so he can have the thrill of pulling it all away at the last minute.
Yes, he's done that to me, too. More than once. Dennis. Oh, Dennis. Can you ever forgive me for doubting your judgment? I'm so sorry for not listening to you both. Oh.
Love you, Mom. Listen, I'm glad we're finally together on this.
I love you, too. Stop this. I'm going to the hospital, and I don't want to walk in there with mascara all over my face.
You look fine, Mom. I'll walk you to the door.
Goodbye, darling. Goodbye. Dennis, I'll see myself out.
Well, there goes our honeymoon. And our tropical island. And the flower in my hair and the future. I told you that call from Woodard Galleries was too good to be true. Dennis. I hate Alex Wheeler. I hate him so much I could just...
You say that Clipper has asked you to marry him, and you've accepted? Terry, your whole future...
Lies with Clipper, yes. Alex, I love him. Aren't you even going to say good luck? Best wishes?
Terry, you know I want the best for you. I always have. Don't you know that? Haven't you learned that over these past 10 years?
Yes.
All right. If I don't say best wishes, you'll understand why?
No, I don't, Alex.
Because Clipper Curtis isn't good enough to shine your shoes. You deserve better. Much better than than he can do for you.
Don't, Alex, please. I never questioned your relationship with Mrs. Bellman.
Maybe you should have. Lord knows how many people have been hurt already.
Don't judge yourself so harshly, Alex.
Maybe not judge others at all, huh? No. Maybe you're right. Maybe we all need more understanding, a second chance, more than judgment. Terry, is Clipper really what you want?
I love him, Alex. He's all I've ever wanted.
Then you feel strongly in your own mind that he's learned his lesson.
Yes. Yes, I do.
All right. Send your fiancé in.
Oh, Alex, I love you. You're wonderful.
Can I have that in writing, please?
Absolutely.
All right. All right. Now go on. Get him in here.
Clipper, come on in. Alex wants to see you. Clipper, I told Alex that you and I are engaged.
Congratulations, Clipper. You couldn't have found yourself a better girl. Hope you realize how lucky you are.
Believe me, Alex, I know it better than anybody. I'm the luckiest man alive. She's the most wonderful girl in the world.
What made you suddenly realize it?
That whole business with the tape recorders. I tell you, Alex, when Terry turned away from me because of what I'd done, I panicked. I mean, she's the only thing that matters to me in my life. Without her, I'm just half a man. If she had left me, well, I couldn't face that. So I figured the only way to keep her was to tie the old knot. And I'm glad she accepted.
I wouldn't have done it if I hadn't thought you'd learned something from all this.
Oh, I did, baby. In spades.
Just what have you learned, Clipper?
Well, about limits, right? And how far too far is. Unwritten codes. I think from here on in, I'd better check things out with my wife before I go ahead and get too eager to do a good job. Right, Terry?
I hope so.
So do I. Clipper, there's something I want to ask you.
Sure, Alex. Shoot.
There's still that other matter. The Ryan investigation that's on now in Tangier.
Oh, yeah, you mean the Sheik's death, right?
His assassination. The fact that he was murdered. I want you to think hard now, Clipper. Is there anything you might have forgotten to tell us before?
Nope. Not a thing, Alex. I mean, believe me. I swear to you, Connor is way off base this time.
But what about your relationship with Hassan?
Simply business, that's all it was. The guy was looking for a connection. He just wanted someone new to the oil business to act as his agent. So he came to me, that was it.
Did you know that Ryan believes that there's a connection between Hassan and the Sheik's death?
Look, if Hassan was involved with anything like that, he sure wouldn't tell me, would he? I'm telling you, Alex, if the guy was into anything else, I never knew about it. I swear, I never knew. Alex, if you don't believe me, I'll
You
go
believe in Terry?
Yes, I do. I'll vouch for him, Alex.
No. No message for Mr. Connor. Thank you. Well, what do you know?
call this working?
Can't you see the little wheels turning in my brain?
No.
Eyes have they, but they see not.
And ears have you. Don't you have any luck talking Paige?
Oh, a little bit. Yeah, before I forget it. Here.
What's this?
It's purse from my last race. Considerate repayment for the $4,500 that we gave to Paige.
Congratulations. So you got her to pay you back, huh?
Nope.
Then why are you giving me this?
Just take it, will ya? You know how I feel about debts. Besides, I got another little item of information from Paige that makes the money worth it to me.
Oh, really? Something new?
Something very old. Namely, fear.
Whose?
Clipper Curtis's.
Aha.
Paige tells me that before I got to the club with my camera crew, somebody paid Curtis a little visit. Two people, in fact. Ryan Connor and somebody that she says is, or she thinks is a Fed.
What were they looking for?
Answers? Answers to questions about Sheikh Zaydi's assassination?
They wanted answers from Clipper Curtis? Well, what in the world could he possibly know?
That's what I'd like to know. So I called Connor. Guess what? He is not where he is supposed to be. It seems he up and left for Tangier. Tell me, why does Alex Wheeler's nephew go flying off to Tangier?
Justin, did you know that Ryan Connor came here initially as security advisor to Sheikh Zaydi on his trip to Houston? Oh, all the claims were that he was with the State Department, you know, smoothing the way for a head of state's visit. But after talking with him, I had a hunch there was something more there.
Aren't you just a walking encyclopedia of useful information?
Sure. You want to know more?
Yeah. What?
Well, Connor felt personally responsible for the Sheik's death. He made a televised statement after the hospital hearing, and you should have heard him.
Yeah, what did he say?
Oh, nothing much. Just that if it took him 10 years or $10 million, he was going to track that killer down.
That connects Curtis and Connor.
How?
Look, Connor is after the Sheik's killer. Curtis has a bad habit of recording conversations at the top of the World Club. Why? Why is Connor going after Curtis and asking questions? What is he looking for in Curtis's office? You want to bet I can figure it out?
Why, Mr. Curtis, what are you doing here?
This is my office.
No, darling. You've been fired. Oh, of course you've come here for your personal stuff. Need some help? Paige's Movers at your service.
Charity begins at home, honey. So help yourself move. Because I'm not the one who's going. You are.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about you and me and the games people play. And the fact that I don't like having people around that I can't depend on. Most of all, I hate people who scavenge when they think there's been a kill. So out of my chair, baby, out of my office, and out of my club.
Hey, what is this all about out? You're the one that's out, baby. I heard Alex fire you with my own 2 ears. Do I have to do it for instant replay for you? Let's see, you were standing right here, and Alex was right here, and then he said, "You're fired to you."
Because you blew the whistle on me.
Sure. Any self-respecting rat knows enough to desert a sinking ship.
And any sinking ship knows enough to find safe harbor.
Unfortunately for you, baby, there just wasn't any. Big wind.
Nope. Unfortunately for you, there was one. And her name is Terry Decker.
Terry?
Terry stuck by me. And she's closer to Wheeler than you're ever. And now she's close to me, too. Terry and I got engaged.
Wow. You have risen to new depths, haven't you?
Terry went to bat for me. She told Wheeler we're engaged, and Big Daddy decided to forgive and forget. I'm back at the old stand as of a couple minutes ago. And my first act is getting all the trash cleared out of you. So bye, Paige, baby. You sang the wrong song. Now it's your turn to pack and take the public elevator down. Way down. No more top of the world for you, honey. So move it.
We'll see which way I go, Clint. Just remember one thing, buddy boy. You're not the only game player in town. Bye-bye. For now.
Oh, Alex?
Wow, what's that for?
Just to say thanks
What for?
for your understanding and your kindness and for being the most wonderful man I've ever known.
You better not let your fiancé hear you say that.
Listen, I promise you I'll keep an eye on my fiancé. You can hold me personally responsible for his conduct. You won't lose anything because of Clipper, Alex. I promise you.
But you have more to lose than I do. You know that. You better keep your eyes open for your own sake as well as mine.
You really don't trust Clipper, do you?
No. I never did. I remember what kind of player he was in the football field.
That you hired him back. Because of me.
Partly. And also because maybe he'll see that he can gain more by playing it straight than by clipping. You know, that way he won't be so quick to play it dirty.
And you don't think he acted in good faith, do you? You don't believe anything he said.
Well, I've been wrong before, Terry. Maybe you're the one who's right this time. And maybe that's the lesson that he's needed to learn all along, even if he didn't learn it when the Raiders blasted him off the field. And because I think he might be right, I'm going to give him another chance.
Oh, you won't be sorry, Alex. I'll never forget how good you've been to me. Now, what can I do for you?
Well, you can start by calling up the Gulf Coast Hospital and seeing how Stryker's getting along. And see who his doctor is. And I'd like to get him on the phone for me. See if there's something special I can do to help him.
Yep, patient information, please. Hello, this is Terry Decker calling. I want to know Mr. John Bellman's condition. Oh, critical. Can you connect me with his physician, please? Dr. Kevin Cook, he's Stryker's son-in-law.
Dr. Cook, this is Alex Wheeler speaking. I'm an old friend of the Bellman family. That's why I'm calling. I'd like to help in any way possible.
Why, Paige, you must be on the wrong floor. The club is upstairs. In case you've lost your famous sense of direction.
Oh, I've still got my wits about me, honey.
Oh, is that what they're calling them now? Was there something you wanted to see me about?
Yeah, Terry, you've always sort of been kind of a homebody, haven't you? I mean, ever since we were kids.
So?
Well, you see, deep in my heart, I really am, too. I know it's a side of me most people don't see. We really get attached to places, you know? Like the club, for instance. I mean, it's been home since I got home from California. patrons loved me and I loved them right back. Just like I loved being at the top of the World Club, you know?
I hear you talking in the past tense. Are you leaving us?
Not if I can help it. But you see, I have this problem all of a sudden. Your new fiancé just fired me. Again.
What do you mean, again?
Well, he tried firing me before, but because I was talking about the recorders and those cute little microphones that he had under the table.
Well, you weren't fired.
I know, but it was just because Alex stopped him in the nick of time. But now your lover boy has fired me again. So I guess I'll just have to get hired again. And I think Alex will do it once he hears what I have to tell him about the way Clipper operates, don't you?
No. You can't go in there.
Why not?
Because Alex is on the phone and he does not want to be disturbed.
Well, I don't want to disturb him, honey, but he's the only one around here who can unfire me.
No. No, he's not. I can talk to him. I'll clear it up with him and you'll be back at work for tonight's show.
You mean you don't want Alex to know that Loverboy is at it again? That's really it, isn't it, Terry? Oh, boy. I really must have a mean streak. It's like my family always said. Because I think I'm going to let you manage this little one for me, Terry. Be kind of cute in a twisted sort of way to see you defend me. To tell that lump of a boyfriend that he just has to keep me around if he wants to stay around himself. Oh, honey. I can hardly wait to see his face.
Dr. Brown, 831. Dr. Brown, 831.
Rena.
Oh, Iris. Iris, I'm scared. I'm so scared. I'm so scared.
Well, of course you are. And I get you anything.
I feel this scream starting way down inside of me, and I feel it coming, and if I let it go, I won't be able to hold it back.
I could just try to sit back here, and
Honey,
take a deep breath.
Honey, I've been scared before, but never like this.
I understand, but don't give up hope that your father might very well come through this.
Might
He
very
has before.
well. Iris, that means he might not. That's what you're really saying to me, isn't it? That I might lose him.
Now listen to me, Rena.
Honey, what am I without Stryker? He's all I ever had. All I ever will have. We've been each other's lives.
That's something we should talk about later. Right now, the main thing is that Stryker is getting the very best care there is. Why, people from all over the world who can afford to go anywhere come to Gulf Coast Hospital. And one reason they come here is Stryker's doctor, Kevin.
Kevin is gonna take a knife and cut out Daddy's heart.
A heart transplant?
That's what they call it. He's gonna cut his heart out and stick another one back in. Some heart that belongs to a total stranger. And then what? I don't know, Iris. Tell me, what do they do after they cut a man's heart out? Do they throw it in the garbage?
Oh, Rena, you're talking about surgery that may save your father's life.
I know, but I mean, even if that's true, we still have to wait for a donor. I mean, someone still has to die first. What if nobody dies? What if
Rena,
I don't
stop this. You are making this much harder on yourself than it has to be.
Iris, while they're waiting for a proper donor, Stryker could have an attack. I mean, even a mild one would kill him now. Believe me, if I knew how, I'd tear my heart out and I'd I'd say, here, Daddy, take it and live. I don't need this, but I can't live without you.
Darling, try to see it this way. The very best doctors in the world are doing everything they can for Stryker. They're watching his condition and keeping him comfortable and keeping him isolated from anyone whose mere presence might cause another attack. I'd have been here sooner, but I had to stop by Western Art.
I'm just glad you're here.
I had to tell Dennis that Alex Wheeler was involving himself in his life.
Alex is what? I don't understand.
Alex used his connections to have an important New York gallery offer to affiliate with Western Art.
And that sounds like it's a solution to all the gallery's problems.
No, not really. Well, maybe it was some kind of solution, but I knew Dennis wouldn't want it. I knew he wouldn't want Alex Wheeler involved in his life.
No, of course not.
Things should be out in the open. People should know who they're involved with.
Sounds reasonable to me.
I know Dennis. He's a very open person. He wants things to be above board. It was really very simple. Once Dennis knew of Alex's involvement, he dropped any consideration of accepting his backing.
He did? Well, what's going to happen?
I didn't give him my own reasons for not trusting Alex.
Well, then what did you do?
I didn't have to tell him what I'd seen, how faithless Alex is. There was no need to tell him what I'd seen with my own eyes.
Honey, back up a little bit for me. I'm not following you.
Well, Dennis already had his own reasons, starting with what Dawn told him about Alex's utter irresponsibility toward Mike Marshall and his family.
Honey, you never believed Dawn's charges before. I mean, why should you start...
I really feel ashamed. Stupid. I suppose I just didn't credit Dennis with enough maturity to judge people. Well, I won't make that mistake again. Doesn't really matter what Dennis's reasons were. The fact is that he was right all along.
You say so, honey.
It seems my son has a gift I lack. He can see into people and judge those who are simply indecent and corrupt. Well, I tell you, it's a gift I wish I had. Because it is humiliating to be taken in by those who don't know the difference between the truth and a lie, or who don't really care about the difference.
Stryker's looking good.
Oh, you've seen him?
I was with Bart when he checked him over. Stryker stable. All of his vital signs are strong.
Good, barring another attack.
He's as ready as he'll ever be for the transplant. The fact is, he's in better shape than a lot of people who go through it. We've got the immune suppressant drugs going now.
Good. Well, it's time to restrict visitors. I don't want to risk a minor infection.
I've already restricted visitors.
Okay.
Well, I guess there's nothing we can do now but wait, is there?
No, nothing. This is the worst time.
But Stryker's in as good a shape as you could expect.
No, I mean waiting for a donor.
I know.
Waiting for one human being to die so another one can live. It's not the best feeling for a doctor.
You make me feel so ashamed.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
No, it's okay. It's just another small lesson from a great surgeon to a protege.
Really?
Sure, I guess it's just part of being young. I've been so concerned about Stryker, Kevin. I've just been hoping for a donor. I forgot what that means.
Well, then maybe this is a small lesson. Or perhaps not such a small lesson. You know, past our techniques, past what we can do and can't do, we have to remember the humanity of our patient and ourselves.
I'll never forget your humanity. But you look so tired. You're exhausted, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I don't think I can sleep tonight. The only reason I slept last night was because you were there.
Oh, Kevin, if you need me tonight...
I took a room in the getaway motel, you know, the one closest to the hospital. Come in.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kevin. Am I interrupting?
No, Vicky, not at all. You know, Vicky, you look good.
I hope I don't look like I feel.
What happened?
Well, the waiting room has gotten very uncomfortable.
I see. Rena.
With reinforcements. Iris Carrington showed up to comfort her, and it seems her method for doing that is
To hack away at you.
I just need a friend right now.
Well, you've got one. You're always welcome here. Sit down, please. Let me get you some coffee.
Thanks, Kate.
Kevin, I've got to run. I'll see you later.
All right, later.
Hold it, Justin. I think we've heard this song before.
This is a different version, Sam.
It sounds like just another chorus to me. The big story. Clipper Curtis in the videotape scam. Alex Wheeler pulling the strings. Justin, some hunches pay off. Others don't.
Yeah.
Why don't you just put this one to rest?
There's no rest for the weary, Sam. And I am weary, fed up, and sick and tired of people getting away with...
Then give yourself a break. Stop beating your head against a brick wall and move on to another assignment.
In fact, I have a new assignment in mind. It's still the same old I Spy at the Top of the World, but it has something to do with the Tankir connection.
Then that's a very good reason for you to stay unconnected.
Sam, first we find out that Curtis has the videotape recording concession, and then we find out that the feds are asking questions about Sheikh Zaydi's assassination. And what do you think that spells?
Trouble.
Oh, now, a smart reporter like you can handle a lot of that. We know that Curtis must have known about the assassination because of the tape recordings, and if he knew, then his boss, Wheeler, knew. Maybe they even knew before it happened. Maybe they even let it happen. Maybe they,
Maybe. Justin, you're jumping to conclusions. Except Ryan Connor was chief of security for Sheikh Zaydi. And I remember that Alex Wheeler did try to call Ryan about a plot to kill Zaydi. But Wheeler was too late. Only by moments.
Then he knew. He knew! What a shame he had a problem with punctuality.
He did try to call.
Oh, well, then just give him an A for excellence, then. Listen, why did you give him an F for fake or a C for cunning? Listen, he held off. He held off from calling until it was too late. That's clever, but it's not clever enough.
Oh, and you're just too clever. You're so clever that you're forgetting about Ryan Connor. He loved Sheikh Zaydi. He's flown off to Tankir looking for his killers. Now that's pretty darn dangerous. If there is even a shred of evidence against Alex Wheeler, Ryan would know it. And I believe that he would go after his own uncle just as hard as he would a total stranger.
Where is
the magistrate. He was summoned to come over 30 minutes ago.
His Honor advised me there were documents to prepare, Minister. The marriage license and other papers.
Which I said could be waived in this very special case.
His Honor said your authority was
what?
Was insufficient to waive the required forms.
His Honor will soon find out just how sufficient my authority can be.
Ryan, this marriage, are you sure?
Look, Yasmin. Now, you and I were both facing long terms in one of Hassin's prisons. Or extremely short ones followed by executions. Now take your choice.
I guess it seemed that way.
So I figured that there might at least be one alternative that Hassin would accept. Or maybe even prefer. Since the last thing he needs right now is an uprising among your own kinsmen.
So as a concession to them, he will allow them to see their princess happily married?
No. No, Hassin doesn't make concessions. He's hoping that your marriage to an American will discredit you in the eyes of your people.
But my people's loyalty doesn't stop at the border. Hassin simply just wants to believe that.
Well, if he's barking up the wrong tree, let him go right ahead. Just as long as it isn't bite until we're married and out of here.
Are you sure you wouldn't prefer one of Hassin's sweltering prisons?
What are you talking about?
That you find marriage to me just a little better than one of Hassin's dungeons.
Yasmin, this isn't time. Now I want you out of this country and into the States safely. Our relationship just isn't important now. Only our relationship with Hassin. Do you understand?
كل حاجة جاهزة بقى ولا ايه؟
ايوه النهارده على كيفك.
The wedding may commence, that is if it suits the Princess Yasmin and her consort.
Ryan,
Princess.
لازم تجري التصريح الكراس قتل مع المكالدة.
His Honor is informing you that you both must sign this wedding certificate before he can unite you in holy matrimony.
Hassin, if we do this, you'll guarantee safe passage out of Tankir for both of us, right?
Perhaps you don't realize, Mr. Connor, I'm by nature a romantic.
Oh, well, you must have a lot of hidden qualities, right?
I'm a champion of young lovers such as yourselves. I will personally escort you to the airplane, you and your bride, which in turn will take you far away from Tankir. Princess Yasmin will be missed here in Tankir by her people, myself included. But who am I to stand in the way of young love? Princess.
Since I was a little girl, I always imagined what my wedding day would be like. The feast table would be full of food. There would be songs and dances. And my father's tears of joy. I never thought it would be done so swiftly with just the stroke of a ballpoint pen.
Dreams of childhood. How many of them we must abandon for the sake of more practical things.
Yasmin, sign right here, okay?
Yes, Princess. Sign. Marry and be off to America. Or stay behind and enjoy my hospitality.
Oh, come on, Sam. You gotta know better than that. Who goes after family?
Maybe tough, honest men.
like Ryan Connor.
Maybe. Look, Justin, from all I've picked up, Ryan Connor is not some sweet young thing fresh out of law school who's trying to make it in our lovely town. He's been around. Everybody says State Department, but my own vibes say some security organization that may not even have a name. Before that, little war.
And before that, and after that, remember, he still calls Alex Wheeler Uncle. What do you think? You think he cares about us? He's sitting up there at the top of the world, laughing at us, and he's given Ryan Connor a nice little nest in your uncle's law offices. Oh, don't topple the world building, but it's better than a little office out on the Buffalo Speedway, am I right?
Okay. It's coffee break time, so I'll play your silly little game for a while. Can you give me one good reason why super tycoon Alex Wheeler would be involved in an assassination plot in the first place?
Sam, you and I, we couldn't even begin to play Wheeler's game. We couldn't have a practice session, not even a down. We can't even afford the price of admission. Up there, the air is thin and the plots are thick, and they gotta get tangled around one another. I mean, what do you suppose a man like that is worth anyhow? Well, how much?
I've heard several billion.
Give or take, 500 million or so. I mean, even the motives, they're not the same. All right, money, power. But aside from that, something so simple, so base, so corrupt, that you wouldn't believe it even if it was proven to you.
Oh, wow. Really esoteric, huh? I don't suppose you can give me one concrete example.
Yes. One. Just suppose Wheeler was willing to do anything to topple Mike Marshall. I mean anything. To erase his beginnings here in Texas so that he would feel as though he were always here. You know, if you're nobody and you wipe out that person that remembers you as nobody, you become somebody.
Justin, I know your father was wiped out by the Tangier Revolution. But you can't believe that Alex Wheeler would involve himself in such an incredible plot for that reason. I'm sorry, Justin. It's fourth down. The ball goes over.
Sam, I didn't start off thinking like this. I used to think the way you think, that there is a limit to what people do. They just can't keep on doing things like this. But then I started to think that that's the way people on our scale think, normal people.
Justin.
Listen, hear me out. Listen, the key to this is Curtis, Clipper Curtis. He's Wheeler's man, right? Wheeler owns the Top of the World Club. Therefore, he owns that has-been jock who runs the club, right?
Okay, that's 3 yards and a cloud of dust. Now comes the hard part.
No, the easy part. If indeed Clipper had something to do with the assassination, if he overheard it, if he heard anything, if he taped anything, then it would have gone right to Wheeler. Because I'll tell you why. Curtis doesn't have the brains or the guts to play in that kind of a league alone.
It won't work. The dumber Curtis is, the greedier he is, the more likely he is on his own. I can certainly believe that he's up to his ears in felonies sooner than I would Alex Wheeler. Have you ever seen Clipper Curtis play ball? Dirty. No, I'm sorry, Justin. It just doesn't wash. It doesn't make any sense.
Oh, it makes a lot of sense. You just don't see the sense that it makes.
Justin, you're not playing with your helmet on in this one, and I should have known that from the start. You've got to hang your father's death on someone. And Alex Wheeler is it.
No, no. No, I never picked him. But that's where the blame belongs. I can't prove it. I know I can't prove that. But I'll have to find someone, something, some way to get close to him. So that I can squeeze the truth out.
Out.
What does he mean, out? Out, damn spot? I didn't realize Clipper had a flair for the dramatic.
Either you walk, now, or I'll call a guard and have him drag you out by the black roots of your golden blonde hair.
You can try, darling.
Fellow, give me security.
But I have my defense counsel here to defend me.
You've really gone off the deep end this time.
Terry Decker, champion of the oppressed. Come on, champ, defend my rights.
You got one right, baby. You can walk right out of here in one piece. If you walk now.
Counselor, tell Clippy why it just wouldn't be right to make me walk.
You gotta be kidding. Terry will be as happy as I am to see you go. Won't you, baby?
I'd be happy if you never hired her in the first place. And I hate to say I told you so, but I did. Told you she'd be trouble.
I know. I agree, baby. I have seen the error of my ways. I have seen the light. That's why I fired her.
Oh, liar, liar, pants on fire. Your fiancé knows the truth, Clippy. Your boss, Alex Wheeler, knows the truth. The fact is, it is my relentless devotion to truth that got me into trouble.
I'm afraid you're wrong.
I'm afraid she's right.
You see, Alex knows that you fired me for telling Justin about your video recorder, sweetie.
Clipper, it's only been 2 hours since we talked to Alex. If he finds out that you fired Paige for telling the truth, you're going to get the axe again. And it's not going to make me look very good either.
Hey, I'm running the show around here, and I will fire anybody I want.
I'm telling you, Clipper, if you fire Paige for turning you in, you will be out for good. And
I'll be running the show. Which will be much better for the show, but decidedly worse for Clippy.
Well, I'm afraid that there has been a very big mistake here. I didn't fire her for turning me in. I fired her for snooping through things on my desk. I walked in and caught her right in the act. I walked in and there she was looking through everything.
Shut up! Would you just listen for a change? You know, I'm not exactly crazy about leaping to the defense of Paige Marshall.
I would never have guessed, honey. You're doing great, kiddo.
But I'm telling you, if you fire Paige, she'll get to Alex again, and there's nothing I can do about it. Do you hear me? Do you hear?
Of course he hears, Terry. Clippy has marvelous ears. It's probably his best feature.
You've created this whole mess, so you're just gonna have to live with it.
Right on. Take it like a man, honey.
Well,
that would be asking a lot. Tell you what, take it like whatever you are, okay? Rena, baby, it's so long. Please let me take you home.
I'm staying, Iris.
Well, you can't help Stryker by wearing yourself to a frazzle. He's resting comfortably now, but you need to get some rest.
I'm not leaving. Not as long as Stryker's lying in there alone.
He isn't alone.
Yes, you're right. Vicky's on the loose somewhere around here.
There's nothing Vicky can do to hurt Stryker, not now.
Honey, you would be surprised what that woman could cook up.
There's very little that would surprise me.
Yeah, if I'm gone for about 5 minutes, she'll dream up some new angle on how to get to Stryker, not to mention Kevin.
Kevin?
Well, of course. Do you think that one man is enough for that woman? Any man's fair game with her, honey. Why should her daughter's husband be an exception? You underestimate her capabilities.
Oh, I have a very healthy respect for Vicky's capabilities. But surely there's nothing between her and Kevin?
They're a match made in heaven, darling. No, the other place. I've caught them. As a matter of fact, I'm wondering where Mommy is now. I'm beginning to miss her.
Rena, she's probably just gone to the cafeteria.
Oh, you're wrong, honey. Chipped beef on toast is not her bill of fare. If she's dishing it out anywhere, I'll bet it's in Kevin's office, and I also bet it's from a recipe all her own. If you'll excuse me, I think I'm going to check on the lost and found.
Why?
I want to make sure I find my husband before she sees to it that he's lost forever.
All right. All right, I'll put up with the lady. Listen, baby. You've had all the fun here you're going to.
What with watching you crawl on your belly like a reptile and watching little Miss Sunshine here leap to my defense, honey. I have had more fun than a girl could hope for. If that's all there is, well, I'll say thanks for the memory. But special thanks to you, but then I always knew I could count on Terry Decker. After all, we're sisters, aren't we? Under the skin.
Paige, your skin's so thick it's hard to know what's under there. Just do your work and stay out of my way.
Yes.
You'll see this is for the best.
I couldn't agree more.
I have to get back to work now.
You wormed your way back in here, Paige. But your position here is only temporary. Remember that.
Believe me, honey. I know this position's only temporary.
And while you're at it, remember who's boss.
Alex Wheeler's boss, Sugar. And we've grown quite fond of each other. Unfortunately, you're not very popular with either of us. So a word to the... Oh. Sorry. Keep forgetting who I'm talking to. Hands off, mister! You're the one who's finished having fun around here. In fact, you may be finished altogether because one of us is going. And it's not going to be me. Yes, I wasn't snooping through your papers. I was acquainting myself with the operation. Because one of these days, honey, this office is going to be mine.
Oh, baby, have you got a lot to learn.
I know. That's why I'm doing all my homework. This club could be a hot little showcase once it started run properly. Oh, honey, sooner or later you're going to botch things up by yourself. I won't have to lift a finger. But I will be waiting in the wings, you better believe. And when I hear my cue, I'll step right up and take a bow and take over.
I don't want to leave him, Kevin. Not now. If Stryker doesn't want me with him, I can understand that. But he doesn't have to know I'm here. I want to stay. It's Rena. She's such a comfort to her mother in times of need.
Vicky, I think you've taken just about all you can stand of this.
No, I can take it. It just hurts me so to see Stryker like this. I can handle that. What I can't take is the constant implication that I'm responsible. And now with Iverson on it, you'd think I'd be immune to all this after all, but with both of them chipping away at me,
On the contrary, under the circumstances, you're bound to be susceptible at this point. You know, Vicky, there isn't anything more we can do for Stryker at this point. He's resting now. There's no reason at all why you shouldn't be resting too.
Kevin, I'm afraid to leave him even just for an hour. I mean, something happened to him while
If there's any change at all, you know I'd call you, but I don't think that's going to happen.
nothing to do right now, is there, except wait for Stryker's new heart?
That's right. Now, you can do that as easily in the comfort of your own home as you can in that nest of vipers out there. What do you say?
Okay. If there are doctor's orders, I'll follow them.
Good.
May I use your phone to call a cab?
Absolutely not. I'm going to drive you home. It's part of the prescription.
Oh, no, Kevin. That's very kind, but you don't have to do that.
No trouble at all. I'm going to check into a motel. Drive out to River Oaks. Believe me, it's no trouble. I think I can use the fresh air and your company.
Comes almost as a shock to find someone that doesn't loathe being near me. Maybe I'm not the monster everybody's been saying I am.
Rena's brainwashing techniques are very effective, aren't they?
Oh, yes. She's hysterical and destructive. She distorts everything, and I know all that, but it's amazing how she can get to people.
Well, the next time she gets to you, you come to me, and I'll set the record straight on who the monster is. Of course, that is, if Rena hasn't got me believing I'm the monster that particular day.
In that case, you come to me, and I'll set the record straight. Nothing like finding a friend when you need one.
Strength in numbers, huh? And where Rena is involved, we need all the strength we can get. Right?
Oh, dear.
Believe that. Excuse me.
Oh, hello, Justin.
You would expect a hospital to be cold and bleak. It's surprising to see someone looking so warm and lovely.
I've been with Rena. She's gone off to discuss something with Kevin.
Now, that must be some discussion.
That's true. They don't mince words when they talk things over.
The vibrations will probably relapse every patient in the hospital. If I know Rena, how is she?
Pretty shaken, I'm afraid. But Rena's strong. She'll reach down inside and find whatever it takes.
Oh, yes. Rena is strong.
But she is exhausted. I've been trying to persuade her to go home, but I'm afraid she's not likely to listen.
No, she won't go home, not as long as Stryker is in danger. Rena and Stryker have a pact that goes back many, many years. I'm sure that's where they gather most of their strength.
Stryker's certainly going to need his strength.
He's got it. He's got that East Texas blood up near Carthage. Stryker's had it hard, but he has the will to live. Some people have it. Some people don't. Some have it, but it gets sucked right out of them.
Well, I don't think Stryker has lost that. Even if Vicky has been a disappointment to him.
I've known Vicky for a lot of years. I guess I don't really know her at all. I never realized how far she was willing to go.
Well, I suppose that can be an admirable trait when it's used constructively.
Well, where is Vicky? Is she staying here by Stryker's side?
She was here, but she left shortly after I arrived.
Oh. Probably had another engagement.
I don't think so. It just seemed rather uncomfortable around me.
That's strange. She never seemed uncomfortable around you before.
True. But I didn't know about her entanglement with Mr. Wheeler before. Now I do. And I've seen to it that she knows I do.
I don't blame you at all. Betrayal is the final sin, isn't it? It leaves a debt that must be paid in full. I mean, she probably got exactly what she deserved. Tell me, has his sidekick told you about his 20 years with Vicky?
Oh, he keeps hounding me, galling me. Even though he knows I don't want to talk to him.
Yeah, well, Wheeler finds it hard to take no for an answer. I'm sure he's pretty riled up about this.
I've only spoken to him once to tell him about Stryker's heart attack. I assumed he'd want to know since he had a great deal to do with causing it. So I wouldn't know whether he's feeling riled or not. Actually, I don't know that he's capable of feeling anything for anyone. Nothing real, at any rate. Nothing lasting.
Well, that sounds like grounds for breaking with him, all right?
Breaking with him, yes, I suppose so. Alex is the one with a knack for breaking things. This isn't the first time he's betrayed a trust. The first time there wasn't even another woman. It took time and effort before I could trust him or anyone again, and just when I had begun to trust for the first time in so many years, I heard Vicky discussing their relationship. And then you were honest enough to show me those photographs of Vicky and Alex at play.
Iris, I might have been wrong to keep those photographs from you, but I did it because I thought things had run their course between Vicky and Alex. Now I'm sure of it.
Oh, Rena, after all that's happened, how can you say that?
Because Queen Victoria has a new consort. I just saw Kevin leaving the hospital with one of his delicate surgical hands on Vicky's shoulder and the other one clutching their overnight bag.
Well, don't you think you might be jumping to conclusions?
Knowing those two, that's a conclusion I should have jumped to a long time ago. Iris, don't you break with Alex. You fight that woman. You make damn sure you win. Otherwise, you'll end up like me, a loser. While Mommy, dearest, pockets another victory and goes off to her next conquest.
Rena, I think you are jumping to conclusions. I think Vicky is still very much crazy about Alex Wheeler. Look how she busted her chops to try to warn him, protect him from me when she knew that I was close to his top-of-the-world operation.
When you're the belle of the ball, honey, you just waltz from one romance to another, just as quick as the music takes you. Yesterday it was Vicky and Alex. Today, Vicky and Kevin. But tomorrow I'm going to expose both of them for exactly what they are. One dirty old doctor and one conniving old woman.
I was thinking about you.
What were you thinking about?
That I hated for you to be there alone.
Well, if you were here, I wouldn't be alone, would I?
What room?
287.
I'll be right there.
This was a chance meeting, impromptu swim, some lovely hours shared.
I know.
See each other.
I know that too. I want that, don't you?
Just a minute. Courtney?
As good as her word. Hello, darling.
Hello, your son.
Hey, why are you acting like this? You're not surprised. You knew I was coming.
No. I'm not surprised.
Disconcerted?
Yeah, that's it. That's the word. And, worn out, I'm afraid.
Well, I'll make you feel better. And please don't be disconcerted, not by me. Oh, Kevin. This is just where I hoped we'd be the night that we got our phone call about Stryker. The two of us, here, together, alone.
Yes, I know what you mean. I felt the same way. That night more than ever. You know, I was mad, but it felt good. It just felt right to walk out on Rita. She'd finally gone too far. But by the way, that's not why I wanted to be with you.
Want it? But isn't that still what you want? Kevin, we can now have what we both want. I don't think that you're very sure of what you want.
Oh, Court, it isn't a question of desire.
Yes, it is. It is.
No.
Kevin, you're not thinking of going back to that woman.
Courtney, it isn't Rena, it's Stryker. I promised him I'd stay with Rena through losing your father.
You can't mean it.
But I own Stryker.
Not anymore. Kevin, Rena accused you of adultery in front of all of your colleagues. She even accused you of wanting to murder Stryker.
Yes.
Then what can you possibly owe her now?
Dr. Kenner, 606. Dr. Kenner, 606.
How can you keep pacing like that? Never seen you look so exhausted. I still think you should have gone home with Iris and rested a little.
My daddy's in there. He may be dying.
Dr. Howard, nice.
Take it easy.
Dr. Howard, nice.
Take it easy. He's a tough fellow. Well, he's not done until they take him away.
I appreciate you staying here, holding my hand.
Well, that's one of my favorite
Could
hands.
have taken Iris out and consoled her about being so disillusioned with Alex.
Well, it did cross my mind, but that little project is moving along so smoothly, I didn't think I should push it.
Honey, why do you want to get my goat at a time like this?
What?
You don't play innocent very well, so you needn't bother telling me about all of your planned conquests. Nobody is ever going to hurt me again.
Rena, I don't want to hurt you.
Then why are you flirting with my friend right in front of my nose?
Rena, you know what that's all about. The only passion I've had has to do with Alex Wheeler, and the only conquest is to separate what he cares about most from... That's Iris Carrington.
Well, I remember a time when your passions were a little more natural.
Well, so do I. And as you've reminded me twice, you are a married lady.
Was. That was before I saw my husband walking out of this hospital with his arms around my own mother. My own mother carrying his little suitcase. He's probably with Vicky right now out in some... Well,
Dr. Brown,
I suppose that
Dr. Brown,
I'm not a married lady anymore.
Third time's the charm, they say. How about dinner?
I'll go and see Stryker first.
Dr. Melton, 392.
Oh, I don't owe Rena a thing. If there was ever a debt, it's been paid in full.
Then why?
As I told you, I owe Stryker.
Well, get a loan. Pay him back. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sound flip, but I can't just stand by and watch you destroy yourself and us, even if Stryker did finance your
Well,
work.
Courtney, you know, it isn't only the money. I love Stryker. He's been as much a father to me as he has been to Rena. He's been generous, trusting, and I promised him. Maybe I can go him one better.
The transplant?
That's right. If I can give Stryker a few more years, after all, that's what Rena wants more than she wants in life with me. That can be my parting gift to her.
There, I'm beginning to understand.
Good. Now, I have to be prepared, mind and body, for this grueling surgery. Understand?
Of course I do. I do understand.
Good. When Stryker's transplant surgery is over, and God willing successful, we'll have other nights together.
Yes, all the nights and days in the world.
But now now what I need is to have dinner and get to bed early. To sleep early.
Okay, I won't try to change your mind, but can we at least share the dinner part?
I'd like that. Where do you want to go? Anywhere.
Anywhere?
Now you name it.
Here. We can order something from room service.
Here. This kitchen has to be a disaster.
Oh, I don't care. I'm not really that hungry anyway. But this will give us more of a chance to relax, and we can be together alone. Hi, room service? Wait, excuse me.
Me anything except to succeed and to be happy, and let the rest of it just take care of itself. Now, I'm going to go in the kitchen and I'm going to stir up a nice little surprise for you.
Maggie, you're an angel.
Maggie, you see Nita?
Nita's working.
I'll tell her you're out here. Calling all lovebirds. Top of the morning to you, too.
It's late afternoon.
Not for me, it's early morning. Just got out of the sack, fixing to go to work. So, you, lovebirds getting rich over yonder, or what?
Not exactly.
What do you mean? I thought art was the key. Get rich selling other people's work? What's the matter, having management problems?
Look, why don't you just get off my back, all right?
Oh, now, we hit a nerve or something, didn't we? Got problems, huh? Maybe I can come back tomorrow and buy me some doodad or something. Help you folks out a little bit.
Yeah, we'll talk to Dawn. I have to go to New York.
Went over your head, huh? That's the way to live, all right. Yeah, I got an idea. Tell you what, if you find you're in over your head, why don't you come by? Maybe I can give you a job at the top of the world.
Gee, no thanks.
Hey, the money's pretty good there, you know. Sure ain't nothing to sneeze at. Look here. That's just from a bonus I got, too. I'm on my way up. Going all the way this time. Yes, sir.
Well, if you're doing all that well financially and you know so much about art, well, how about investing in the gallery?
Invest?
Yeah, that means,
well, no, I reckon not. I'm not really the arty type. Although I can draw faces pretty good. No, I'm saving up for a car. New one. Big and sassy as I can find. And there goes Anita. Nice talking to you folks. Hey, good looking. What you got cooking?
Howard, 691. Dr. Howard, 691. Dr. Kenner, 96. Dr. Kenner, 96.
Bart, you're not trying to soften it for me now, are you?
No. Stryker's condition is stable, at least. He's really holding his own now, Rena. And I think it's probably a good idea if you get away for a while. Get some food and some rest.
Yeah, I guess.
How is Stryker?
Well, Bart says that he's stable, but, oh, Justin, he looks so pale.
I told you that's to be expected.
Not for me, it isn't. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you two know each other?
I don't believe so.
This is my old pal.
Pal.
This is my old pal, Justin Marshall. He's the one who wants to take me out for dinner. Justin, this is my cousin, Bart Walker.
Walker?
Sam's brother, Dr. Bart Walker.
Oh, yes, of course. It's a pleasure.
Nice to meet you. I've been hearing about you from my sister.
Now, Bart, you promise. I mean, if Stryker so much as coughs, you're going to call me, right?
I'll
You
call.
promise me.
Don't worry.
What?
Will you get her to relax if you can?
You heard him, Rena. Doctor's orders.
So where can I call you?
Maggie's.
Oh. Perfect. It'll be like the old days. Well, let's go, honey.
Nice meeting you. Hi, Mad.
Oh, over there, I guess. Now, wait a minute. Excuse me, I didn't order wine.
Oh, I did, Kevin, when I called the order in.
Huh? Oh, well, you might as well open it for us, okay?
Now, anything else, sir?
No, that's fine.
Well, the only choice you get here is red or red.
So I see. Your health.
Your freedom.
Well, I did need to unwind. Yes, indeed.
This day's been like a month, and I'm exhausted.
Oh, that word again.
My refrain, huh?
Yes, but not for long. And I think you'd relax a lot more easier if you took off that tie.
I'm, all knots, Sam. Well, I think we better eat this before it gets warm.
Right.
The Ritz, it ain't.
Who cares?
I don't.
Well, neither do I.
Got a dog, his name is Blue. Bet you $5 he's a son of a... That's what. Next door to get me a dog. No, first the wheels, and then the dog. Hey, boss, what kind of dog you think I ought to get?
What?
Never mind. Say, you're looking pretty long in the face there. What for? After the way we put it over on those TV guys, I'd be singing. Heck, I am singing.
I got things on my mind.
Well, that's management for you. Can't even stop long enough to enjoy a win.
Oh, I enjoyed it. I appreciated your help, too. Getting those mics out from underneath those tables before Justin Marshall could find them was nice work.
You look like a dog that forgot his bone.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your words of praise, but I thank you more kindly for the C-note you gave me. Look here what they bought me.
Nice.
Nice? That's your solid gold. You can tell just by looking, can't you?
Gold always shows. Good to have a piece like that for a rainy day.
Rainy day, my foot. There aren't going to be any rainy days around here. Not up at the top of the world. No, sir. Sunshine all the time. Oh, I tell you, I sure do love it working up here.
That's good.
I'm glad you hired me. Bet you're glad too, huh? I mean, considering how much use I've been to you. Telling you about those photos with that guy Wheeler and Stryker's wife. And then dumping that stuff before the TV guys got to it.
Sure. You've been a big help.
That's just what I want to be, too. Is there anything else I can do for you? Maybe I can get something for my pinky, too.
Nah. Well, there is one thing.
Just name it.
Just keep an eye on Paige Marshall for me.
Shoot, that's on the house. I can't get enough of looking at that woman.
She's a snake, right? Deadly as they come. And one day, real soon, one of us is going to have to take the other out. There's only room for one boss up here, right? And that's me.
You're the boss, boss.
Top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah. It's for you, right?
I bet it's Nita. Apologizing for coming on like an iceberg today. Yo, Nita.
This is Elena, Billy Joe.
Hey there, honey child. How you doing?
Okay.
When am I going to see those pretty eyes?
Well, I talked Max into letting me come into town Friday after school to visit Ricky.
Good. Worked, huh?
Billy Joe, I don't like this.
Ana, you will. Believe me, you're going to like it.
Well, anyway, should I come by where you work or should I go by Maggie's? I mean, since you say you've got to see me.
Well, I'll tell you, Sugar Bumps, neither place is too, simpatico. I mean, you know, too many people mind each other's business. I'll tell you what. You give me a call when you come to town. I'll have me some, place lined up, a little more private. Somewhere as you and me can be alone. How's that sound?
You know, the only reason why I'm coming in there is because you told me you'd tell Maggie lies about me if I did.
Honey, there wouldn't be no lies. We were necking at Maggie's that time.
No, Billy Joe, it...
Hey now, that's a lie. You know we were. You were enjoying it too. Before you got all schoolgirl scared.
Look, I don't want Maggie to ever find out about that, okay? Or Nita. Now, you promise you won't tell?
I won't tell if you keep your promise. Meet me?
All right.
But, you know, and my lips are sealed. If you keep your promise.
Okay.
And don't worry about a thing. I'll make sure our meeting's, very private.
Doesn't do much good unless you put it in your mouth.
Honey, I don't even think I can keep it down. I'm just too tense. Rena, I made those enchiladas myself, so there is no earthly fault you can find with them. Maggie, they're wonderful. How would you know? You're awful worried about your daddy, aren't you? I guess. Mind if I sit down?
Oh, please. Thank you.
Stay there.
Join us.
Thank you. How's he doing, baby? Well, Bart says that he's stable, whatever that means, but he's as pale as a ghost and his eyes are so hollow. He looks like he's aged 100 years. Oh, honey, I know how you must feel. They are going to operate now, aren't they? Oh, yeah. When would that be? Whenever they can find a compatible donor, if they find one. I understand that it's usually someone who is an accident victim, but everything has got to match up, so I don't know, Maggie, when it's going to be.
Could be any time around here, the way they drive. I'm sorry, that was in bad taste.
Well, now, honey, listen. If you need anybody to hold your hands, I'm right here, okay?
I'll have them both occupied, Maggie.
Honey, we've been gone for almost an hour. Do you think that we could...
I'll pay the check.
Great. I want to get back to Stryker.
Thanks for a lovely dinner.
Thank you for the lovely company. I feel much better.
What is it my sister Paige always used to say? Always leave them wanting more. Well, I guess I better go. That was our agreement. After dinner, I leave you alone to rest.
Well, I feel rested as I am. Courtney, why don't you stay? Finish your wine.
Okay, but only if you help me. I mean, after all, you've only had one glass of wine, and I've had two.
Yeah, well, I'm afraid one glass is my limit.
But you can't possibly expect me to drink that whole bottle of wine. I might get drunk and not be able to leave. I might have to, spend the night. I better not have any at all. I better just go now.
Courtney.
Good night, Kevin.
Courtney, don't cry.
I'm not crying. I'm just thinking about crying.
Courtney, I want you to stay. I want you to stay. I really... And you don't have to drink the wine as an excuse. I really do want you to stay.
Are you sure?
I've never been more sure of anything in my life.
Wait a minute, honey. Slow down.
This is the closest motel to Gulf Coast Hospital. You can call them and you can leave a number there. And then if something happens, they'll call you. We can be back there in 5 minutes.
Honey, I don't feel like being in a motel.
You want to spend another night on the waiting room sofa?
No.
No more arguments.
You always were pushy.
You were always a standoff.
Nice. Lord, I am exhausted. Oof. I'm so tense, honey. Oh. Oh.
Always thinking ahead. You want a drink?
Have one of those, I'd pass out.
By all means. Have one.
No ice.
It's like the good old days, huh, sweetheart? You remember?
Mm. I remember the old days. I had this funny old time machine in my head. We were never going to get old, never lose a race, and we were always going to be in love, no matter what. Something like that, anyway. The heat on those old tracks.
And off.
You're always so gritty with dust. I even remember the taste of it when you used to kiss me. Stop.
Why? I mean, I thought we settled this. Your husband moved out, right?
You're dead right, honey.
So?
Kevin, I've never been so happy in my life.
Oh, I love you, Court. I love you.
Oh, honey, that feels so good. Oh.
You like that, huh? Just let your skin breathe.
Oh. Justin. Oh, baby.
You folks finished with your dinner table yet? No. I'll call you when we're finished.
You don't have to eavesdrop. I'll say all the outrageous things you want to hear.
Shh. Sure of it.
You sure of what?
I heard Kevin's voice. He's in the room next door.
Oh, great.
Rena, so what if he is?
He can't do that.
Rena, if it's over between you, why worry about it at all?
I'll tell you why, because he's in that room with my mother. I know it's the two of them, and I'm going to call him on it and her. Give me my purse there.
Ma'am?
How much to open that door in that room down there? Look, $20, huh? That should be enough. Open it.
I can't.
Oh, come on. Take it all. Take it all. Just open that door. Open it!
Why not?
Well?
Well, what, Rena?
Where is she? Trying to freshen up, is she?
Rena!
Courtney Marshall.